fully funded, I mean someone, the organization that they paying for is the GIZ. Now GIZ is
See, I play work is in India, so I can know if nobody's hearing
I
me.
can't hear you, sir.
Hear me. Okay. So can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you
Yes, we
now.
can.
all right. Yeah. So I was saying that the program is sponsored by Nigerian German Corporation and it is implemented by Nerdzfactory company. Nerdzfactory is a human capital development firm. We what we do is adding value to people, developing humans, developing people, developing people around from young people to grown people. I mean, people across different ages, especially in the IT industry, especially in things related to technology. So that's what we do. So that's basically what Net Factory is about, right? So Net Factory is human capital development firm, while GIZ is in charge of helping people that are migrating, and even so, what they are trying to do here is they are trying to solve unemployment problems, right? So that's what GIZ is doing by sponsoring this training. So the goal at the end of this training is not just for you to come to class every day, it's for you to grow this skill, have it, and become that person that is valuable in the community. I mean, if you check the stats of people that are unemployed in Nigeria now, it is alarming, especially with the COVID pandemic. But like the facilitator in the morning session, the pandemic was a blessing for him because a lot of businesses moved online and he was receiving requests to do graphics for a lot of people. I mean, he said if there is something like over a request, that's what he was getting during the pandemic, right? So it is something that we are looking forward to also helping you to do. Right? So we want you to also be a person solve problems and also be not be people that will be cloyed, right? So the program is divided into four parts. So give me a second. All right, I'm here. Um so we were talking about the four parts of the program. So the program is divided into four parts. One, the first part we are going to be looking at is graphic design. Second part is product design. Part is freelancing, and the fourth part is soft skills and entrepreneurship training. So in the first set of weeks, if you've checked your handbook, that the handbooks that you received in your emails, for all that were admitted, you would have seen a link to the handbook. And if you've read it, you would see that it covers those four parts: graphic design, product design, freelancing skills, and the fourth part is entrepreneurship and soft skills training. So these are four parts that you don't just want to learn graphic design and product design. You don't just want to have those skills and not be able to use it to add value and in return get value for the value you're providing. So you also want to be able to say that, yes, I am providing value and I'm getting value in return for the value I'm providing, right? So it is just something that is important for you to go. So the run through of this program now, this program runs basically for 12 weeks. The first 8 weeks are the time you're coming to classes like this. You're coming to classes every day like this, Monday to Fridays for your training. Every day, Monday to Fridays for your training. That's what you'll be doing every day, right? While the remaining 4 days, the remaining 4 weeks rather, would be for internship. So there would also be a sponsored internship by GIZ GIZ. So they will be sponsoring 50 people. And for you to be part of those 50 people, you have to be, so I mean, of course, so there's a morning batch and there's an afternoon batch. So we could 25 out of the different batches. Yes, we could say that. But what if we see that it's only the people in the afternoon batch that are serious with the class? What if we see that it's only the people in the afternoon batch that are serious with the class? Definitely that's what we're going to, definitely that's what we're going to pick. We can just, if the morning people are not serious, we just pick everybody in the afternoon batch. And I mean, that's what we're going to do. But if in the case the two you can do 20 at the end of it all, 50 people sponsorships, they're going to get sponsored internships at the end of this program. So the goal of the program is not just for you to gain the skill, it's for you to gain a skill that would make economically sufficient, so you don't have to beg somebody for money, so you don't have to be counted as the as part of the unemployed youths in Nigeria. All right, that is usually the norm. So let me give. So I want to say something. While a lot of people were applying, now this is something that you should just take note of. There are some people joining this class right now with their nicknames, which is not very right. And today being the first day is why we are going to allow that. After if you join the nickname with a short form of your name or with only might not be counted. Your attendance that day might not be valid because you are supposed to enter your first name and last name when you are entering this class. So we know that okay, we are taking attendance of, I can see Kehinde Adebayo. So when Kehinde Adebayo fills the sign in and sign out attendance, we know that okay, this is Kehinde Adebayo. We took a screenshot and she also signed it. So automatically she came to class. But if I see something like, imagine my name is Micah, and I say that I put Mike, just imagine that I put Mike, and someone is taking the attendance and saying, okay, I signed in with Micah Timilai, and there's Mike. Who is Mike? We don't know, right? So then I also noticed something. While the team was shortlisting people for this program, some people made mistakes. I don't know if that's a mistake, but it is a very costly one. When you apply for a program with Micah Timilai, that your first name is Micah, your last name is. When you are now taking, you are now. So when you're taking the assessment, you are now, instead of feeling Micah Timilai, you are now feeling Timilai Micah. You would know that that is wrong because, I mean, it could be entirely two different people. It could be entirely two different people. So those are things that you should just take note of so that I don't, right? So the next thing I'll talk about is attendance. Attendance in this program. Attendance is really, really key. So every day in every class there will be sign in and sign out attendance. There will be an attendance to sign in and also sign out. It is important in every day on every class that you sign in and you sign out, because if you don't sign in and sign out, you might forfeit. Did I say might? You will forfeit your certificate. And I mean, so I'm going to get to the place. So now the certificate is like this. The certificate is going to be branded by GIZ's logo and it's going to be signed by. So that is something that you really want to have on your portfolio. You really want to have a certificate by GIZ on your portfolio, a foreign certified certificate. And if attendance is one of the major ways for you to be approved for that certificate, attendance is one of the major ways for you to get your certificate. If you don't get if you don't complete your attendance, you might not get your certificate, right? And I'm serious about that. All right. So Yeah, so that is okay. So other benefits in the program. Now, I mentioned earlier about the internship that there's going to be a sponsored internship for 50 people. So 50 people are going to get sponsored internships while other people, so the 50 people are going to get internships by GIZ. So and it's going to be sponsored. I mean, when I mean sponsored, I mean paid internship for a month, right? So another thing is data subscription. Now, 100 people, 50 in the morning, 50 in the afternoon are going to get data subscription. And we are admitting almost 200 people to the program. So it means that some people are not going to get data. And this is a simple avenue, a gateway for you not to get data is don't come to class or don't fill attendance or don't submit assignments. So those three things, I mean, so those are, I mean, that's just it. You want to get, so you can get data that will be sufficient for the entire 8 weeks. And I'm really serious about that. You get data that is sufficient for the entire program. So it's just something that is really important for you to know. In every class, you need to fill your attendance. I'm hammering on this because today is the first class, and from tomorrow, I won't be taking all the time to explain like this because all this information have been put in your handbook. So I've spoken about the internship, the data, then the third thing is the certificate, right? The certificate, like I said earlier, right? So the conduct of the program, I spoke about attendance already. So every day, the attendance is going to be available for 15 minutes, for 15 minutes of the class. Now, today being the first day, and a lot of people don't understand how it is going, we're still going to give that grace. So 15 minutes today might be extended to 30 minutes, 40 minutes, or even 1 hour. But after today, what we just do is, it might not be me, it might be someone else on the team. Drop the attendance in the chat icon in the chat room. Then you come there and you see the attendance. So you sign in and you sign out. So everyone, please pay attention to this. So every day you would be required to sign in with your signature and sign out with your signature. So in case you don't have an e-signature yet, sign somewhere right now. Sign somewhere right now and screenshot it. Sorry, yeah. Sign somewhere right now and save it. So when you save it, you can crop the place that is your signature. Then when you're signing in, you just upload that image. It is important, and I really mean this. It is really important for you to sign in and out. All right. I think I've hammered so much on attendance. So um I'm going to bring in the founder of Nerdzfactory company, but he's not here yet. So pending that time. So if you have any questions concerning what I've said, you can bring them up.
Hello, sir. Thank you very much for the hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I just want to ask because I'm trying to look at the user experience of this team. I can't really find the chat room. Please, can you explain? I mean, can you tell us where the chat room is, please?
Okay, so where are you joining from? Are you joining with your phone or your laptop?
It's my phone.
Okay, so but you have a laptop, right?
Yes.
Okay, so on your phone, you can just tap your screen. When you tap your screen, at the top of the bar, you would see school afternoon session. It might be abbreviated. Then you see chat icon, like a message icon. Then you see one other small icon by the right. If you can't see it, you can sign out and sign in. You might leave the class and join back. That will fix the issue.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. All right.
All right. Any other person? Any other question? Any other question? All right. So while I'm
Yes, sir. Good
expecting
afternoon, sir.
questions,
Hello, sir.
good
Sorry.
afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Please hold on, Raymond. Hold on. Abdul Samad, please go ahead. Abdul Samad Abubakar, please go ahead with your question. Oh, your
Okay,
mic
sorry,
is now muted.
I don't have any question.
Yeah, sorry. Hello. Can you
Oh,
hear me?
okay. I thought you were trying to talk. Okay, so that's fine. So
Yeah. Hello.
Raymond, please go
Yes.
ahead. Raymond, please
Yes.
go ahead.
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. So what I want to
Yes, Raymond,
just
I
kind
can
of
hear you.
what I want you to emphasize more is not just on the signing because I can see it is very important. So I just want us to kind of have a clear understanding of how to sign in. You made mention of signing on the paper and screen grabbing and cropping. So that at the end of the day, whether in that space, whether there will be an upload or upload icon where you can upload such cropped image. You understand? That's what I want to do.
Definitely.
Okay.
When I
Okay.
send in the attendance, you'll see that there is a place for you to upload your signature.
All right.
So
Okay,
you just upload your signature there easily. Yeah.
no problem. Thank you.
Yeah, well done, sir. Hello. Hello.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
I was actually going to ask when you said we should leave and come back and check the chat room again. When I checked, I saw that the admin has disabled this user on the chat room, so I don't understand.
Okay, so there's an issue with the links that were created today. So from tomorrow, it's not going to be the same link. So if you're having issues with typing in the chat, it is going to be resolved tomorrow, but you will still be able to see the attendance link when it is shared. So the attendance link, you will see when it is shared. So you don't need to worry. You might just not be able to type, but if you have a question, make sure that your background is not noisy, then unmute your mic to ask a question.
All right, thank you very much. I get it.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you. All right. So yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead with your.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Please go ahead with your question.
Based on what you have said so far, because I came in.
Okay. So, what exactly do you want to know from what I said? Meaning that.
Okay, I came in to the
Hello, can you hear?
issues and I mean, 15 minutes. Okay, yes. I can hear you.
Sorry, I can't hear you. I think the network is having issues. Sorry, I can't hear you. I didn't get any of the message you were trying to pass across. Yes, I can hear you, but your network, I can't hear what you're trying to say very well. All right. So
Hello?
I don't know. I think
Hello?
yes. Gbemisola, please hold on. Please hold on, Gbemisola.
Okay.
Rex Ogundele, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. It's concerning what you said earlier. You said something about the data and about some other things that I didn't get those information because I came in late due to the network. I had issues logging in.
You had issues logging in. So no, I'm not saying you don't have issues logging in. It's not an issue, right? What I'm saying is that you need to come to class early next time because today is just the day that I'm going to be taking. It's just for today because today is the opening day. That's why I'm taking all this time. From tomorrow, I won't be taking more than 10 minutes in your class before the facilitator takes over. The facilitator is in class already. But
Okay.
so some of our speakers are not here currently. So I got a message from them that they are quite busy. In the absence of any other question, I'm just going to bring on the facilitator. All right.
So I have a question.
Okay. So some. Oh, sorry, Gbemi. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. Please come.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Go ahead with your question.
Okay. It's about the chat icon. It's not displaying at all on my screen.
Okay.
No icon for chat at all.
Okay, please leave the class and join again. Leave the class and join again.
I should leave the class and join.
No need to join.
Yes, please.
Can I answer that, please?
Okay.
Yes, you can.
Okay, so what you will need to do is tap the screen. You're on your phone, right?
No, it's my system.
You're on your system now.
Yes.
You're on your system,
Can you see any
right?
icon at all on your screen? Can you see any icon like the hang up? Can you see any icon?
Yeah, I can see the one show participants, raise your hand, video.
Okay,
I can see those ones, except the chat.
Okay, so there's an option that looks
I think
like.
what she's trying to say is not that.
Do you get that?
No, I
There's
didn't get.
There's an option that you are using the Teams app or you are joining through the browser. Which of them?
Mr. Ola, your network is really breaking.
Okay, sorry about that. Should I join again or what?
Actually, the question I'm asking is,
okay. So, Mr. Ola, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes. Hello, I can hear you. Hello?
Him still showing as a case now.
Hello?
Okay, on the two, it's usually a number of icons. Please hold on for you, please. So when we saw there is usually a number of icons on your screen, but sometimes it goes off. So what you need to do is tap on the screen to bring them up. So, but if you don't see any icon, leave the class and join back again. If you don't see any icon.
No, I can see.
Just tap on your screen. Or you can see icons.
But the chat icon is not there. It's not there.
Okay, so what can you see? What icon can you see? Can you see an icon like hang up button? Can you see something like that?
Yes.
To the left of it, what can you see?
The also show participants and the one raising hand.
Okay, that's what you can.
And sharing too.
So okay, so leave the class and join again. Leave the class and join again.
Okay, no problem.
So that could be, are you joining from the laptop or the Teams application itself?
From the laptop.
From the web browser, or you have the Teams application installed?
Yes, I've installed it already.
Okay, so you can close the app and reopen it and join again. All right.
Okay,
So next question, Rex, your hand is still raised. Rex, you can go ahead with your question if you have a question. Rex Ogundele. Rex, can you hear me, Rex?
Okay, sir. Hello, sir. Can you hear me, sir? Hello. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Network. All right, please go ahead. Go ahead with the question. It's really making. Rex, can you hear me? Rex. Okay. So I think Rex is having issues.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Rex, please, if I don't call you yet, if I've not called you, please just hold on. Rex, can you hear me? Rex, can you hear me? Okay. So Rama, can you hear me? Please unmute your phone so you can give me feedback. Rama, can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir.
Okay, Rex, but you weren't responding initially. So Rex, you can go ahead with your question. Rex, your background is noisy. Your background is noisy. Please stop. Please chat. Send your question in the chat icon. Please don't unmute your microphone. Your background is noisy. Rama, please go ahead with your question. Rama, unmute your microphone and go ahead. Hello, Rama, can you hear me? Your microphone is muted. Unmute your microphone so we can, if you're talking. Rama. Okay, so Taiwo, your hand is also raised. Taiwo or Rama, you can unmute your microphone and
good afternoon.
Give me feedback.
Good afternoon.
I need to hear your question. Okay.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good.
Yes.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. I'm finding it difficult to download the Photoshop app and the other apps you told us to install.
You don't need to download the apps yet. When it's time for you to download the app, your instructor will guide you to download the app. So for now, just listen in class. So as it's unfolding, you'll be guided on what to do.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you.
All right. So I think that's answered your question. Your hand is still raised, and there is no way we're going to hear you if your microphone is still. Mute your microphone, tap on the chat icon. Okay, it's down now. We don't have a network. Okay, I think Rama has issues with that network. All right, any other question? You can drop your hand if your question is answered already. All right. So let's get into what we have to do today. We're supposed to have yes, good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Oh, thank you so much for the introduction, sir.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yes, sir. Please,
I can hear you.
When you're talking about the attendance, then my network was breaking, so yes. I couldn't hear it clearly. I don't know if you can recap, sir. And how will the attendance get across to us?
Okay. So the attendance will be dropped in the chat room.
Okay,
that's
sir.
The chat box of this group.
Okay, sir.
Of this, not the Telegram channel. So if you fill the attendance, when you're signing in and signing out, there will be a place for you to upload your signature. So when you're uploading your signature, I need to mute you. All right. So when you're uploading your signature, you need to. I'm sure some of you don't have your e-signatures yet. So just snap it with your phone. Snap it with your phone, then you crop it on your device so that you can upload it when you are filling your attendance. So I think that should answer your question. So that's clear. So you sign in and sign out, and I'll be dropping your attendance for might be myself or someone else on the team. All right, then final thing. If you fill the attendance, sign in and sign out, it doesn't still mean that you have been automatically ticked for the, because people that came to the demo yesterday night, I showed them that sign attendance, and I'm sure you will see one picture about the list of people in class. The people in the demo yesterday night, I show, so I could take your screenshot now. If someone just comes to fill attendance and the person is not in my screenshot, I'm not going to pick the person, of course, right? So it's just something that you should really look out for, right? So sign in and sign out and be in class. The goal is not just to sign attendance, it's for you to stay in class, attentive, and learn. So the way we know you are learning is by you submitting your assignments. So you'll be given assignments today. So when you're done, you can share them on the Telegram channel. Just inspire yourselves to work, all right? Don't get scared of maybe your own is not very fine or something. Just share it. You're learning. Everybody there is learning it. Everybody is learning. Just don't let anybody do gaga for you. That was just for fun, right? So people learn. So without further ado, I'm just going to bring the facilitator up right now. So yeah, we have Dio Samuel here. All right. So our facilitator for today is Dio Samuel. His name is Dio Samuel, and I told you in the beginning of the class that you are in good hands. And if the GIZ person came, if the GIZ representative come to tell you, they will let you know that you are in good hands with us. And I tell you that he is, it teaches this thing that you want to learn in 8 weeks. It teaches students in a university, a private university in Nigeria. So it's something that you should know that, okay, this is not just one guy on the streets that we just get to say, come and teach, or one graphic designer, There are a lot of people that, but they are different in their approach. They are different in what they do. There are different types of things they do. So he is very exposed and experienced, right? He brings in a wealth of experience and wealth of knowledge and expertise. So everyone, please welcome with me to the class, to the day one of the design school, Mr. Dio Samuel. You don't want to welcome your facilitator. Unmute your mic and welcome me.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Interestingly, your set will be, we really enjoy a lot of things. So get ready for some of the things that you're about to learn in the next couple of weeks. And more importantly, be the type of person that's going to be committed to this entire process. Don't be the type of person who's just going to start something and then leave off. So thank you, Micah, for that introduction, as well as prepping them for this particular session. I am currently off my laptop because I'm trying to get it powered. By getting it powered, I was on my laptop just a few minutes ago, but the battery ran down. So I'm trying to power my entire house right now so that the laptop can come on. So are you still with me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. While I am on that, I want each one of you I want us to get into a conversation as we get started. So first thing, what do you understand about design? Let's start our conversation. What do you understand about design? So, Micah, please, while I'm listening, I'm going to mute myself because I want to turn on Jen. So Micah, please facilitate that part. I'll be listening in for the conversation and be noting the names.
Okay, okay, that's fine.
Okay, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
So, as regards the question, I would say
Yeah.
design is a way of creatively bringing one's imagination to life using
Mm,
typography, colors, and shapes.
interesting. Amazing, amazing. All right, thank you very much. Thank you. That's your person's background is noisy. If your background is noisy, you don't need to unmute your mic. Sorry, who answered the question now? Was that Amza?
No, that's Taiwo Nwade.
Taiwo, okay. Taiwo, thank you for that, Taiwo. Thank you. All right, so
Yeah,
next
good
person.
afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, the way I understand design, it's a means of communication. So designers tend to use illustrations, they tend to use images, they tend to use typography to
Amazing.
communicate with people. Yeah, so they tend to use the elements of design, basically the
So
shapes,
what
the
you're saying is
space.
that what you're saying in essence is that design is communication.
Yeah, it's a form of communication. Yeah, a form of communication. So we're trying to communicate. Like we have an information, we want to communicate it to people. We want people to know about something. We're just trying to pass a message across to people.
Right. Well
Yeah,
done.
that's
Well done.
Isaac
Thank you.
Akemi. Isaac
Thank you
Akemi.
for Isaac. Thank you for Isaac. Thank you, Isaac. Thank you, Isaac. All right. So anybody wants to give that a try? Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I feel like graphic design is the creation and combination of symbols. So it's basically a visual representation of people's ideas and messages.
Interesting. So, graphic design, what you're saying is that, so Isaac said that it is used to pass information. So what you are saying is that to pass that information, you can use different things like illustrations and all. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, like it's a visual representation of messages and other things.
Amazing, amazing, interesting. Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
that answer. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody wants to try?
Yeah,
Okay,
I have something to say. Hello.
All right, all right. Let's hear the lady. Let's hear the lady. All right. So please go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, to my own understanding, I can say to add to what the word said, I can say designing is an art of advertising, an art of advertising your artwork in a more interesting and a more captivating means.
Amazing, amazing. So artwork, I hear artwork, I hear captivating. Did you see the flyer for this program? How many people saw
Yeah.
the flyer? Yeah, so you saw that flyer, the goal was to communicate with you, and it did the job. I mean, we
Yes.
had over 2,000 applications in 4 days, almost 2,500. Almost 2,500 applications in 4 days. And even up till now, we are still receiving people that are calling, sending emails, just trying to say that, please, let's get into the program. Please, let's just get into the program, please. Like some people they don't even want certificate, they just want the knowledge, right? So we are saying that something that captivates people's attention, right? That's very good. So the design we used to advertise was quite captivating. Thank you for that. Thank you. Amazing. Amazing. Somebody else wants to give it a go.
Yeah,
By the way,
hello.
if you know, by the
Can you hear
way,
me?
sorry. By the way, if you know anyone that applied for this program and is in afternoon session and is not here right now, please reach out to the person to join now. Please reach out to the person to join now. If you know anybody like that, right?
Yeah, hello.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
I just want. Can
Oh,
you hear me?
but
Yeah.
Oluwakemi, your background. I don't know if it's your microphone or something. Can you change your
I think
receiver?
it's the headphone. Must be the headphone.
Oh yeah, I think it's the headphone. Yeah.
Yeah, let's unmute. Something is wrong with the microphone. Yeah. So can you hear me, sir?
Can you try with another device? You can try with another device. Let's just see what happens.
Okay, sir. I just want to.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you now.
Okay, so I just want to add to everything. Everybody that said one or two things about what design is, actually, everybody said exactly what it is. So what I want to add is that, okay, well, while you're trying to come, like, in any form of design, the purpose of any form of design is to pass a message, right? So anytime you pick up any of the design tools to design, you have in mind a particular concept you want to pass. You understand?
Amazing.
So yeah, that is actually that purpose. That purpose will guide your creativity. That purpose will guide your workflow, the approach you want to adopt, and every other thing. So basically, design is passing an information with a purpose, so that anytime,
Raymond, sorry, please hold on. Raymond.
Yes, sir.
Your background or something is noisy. There is a noise from somewhere.
Yeah, where I am is absolutely quiet, actually. So I don't know what might be the problem.
Okay, maybe it was from someone else's microphone.
Yeah, I think so.
Aye, sir.
All right, so continue. Just continue. Please, if someone is talking, just need to hold on for the rest to be done. All right, okay. Raymond, please continue.
Okay, so as I was saying, actually design is like what you're saying about the flyer for this program. It was designed with a purpose, so that when you look at it, automatically, we're not seeing the design alone, the colors and everything. Everything has a reason why they were used. You understand? So that the design actually is bringing all those things together with an intention. You understand? So basically, design, to sum everything up, design is just communicating a message.
Amazing. So design is communication.
Communication. Forms of using any forms of elements that you don't choose or not, like every other person has said in this.
Amazing.
Okay.
Amazing. Thank you for that. Amazing. Thank you. So actually, do you know that? So sometimes, right, I see on my WhatsApp status that some people post adverts for design. They say the program is Canva Masterclass, and I see the advert, I see the design. I mean, I see the design, and I'm like, what is this? This doesn't even captivate me. It doesn't even let me say that, okay, I'm a good designer. No, it doesn't even let me say that, okay, you are a person that can design something. So if the design you are doing, if you cannot even say that, okay, I want to learn how to make this design. I mean, immediately that design was posted, I got someone that was really interested in designing that said that, yeah, I like this design. I want to be like that person that design. I want to learn up to that person. So it is just something that is really important. You don't want to. So that design, by the way, the design for the flyers. I mean, there were about 3 variations of it.
Okay, can everyone hear me, please?
Yes, sir.
Can hear me?
You can hear you.
Okay.
All right. So I mean, so it's just something that you should be really looking forward to. So thank you everyone for all those that have contributed. So I want to check. Okay.
So sorry that I had to take minutes. Yeah, all this while. So I've been listening in the conversation so far. I also need to. It was while I was waiting here. Can you see my video? Is my video visible to you?
Yes, you can see it.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So it was while I was sitting here that my battery ran low, and then this is Nigeria, where you have light, and when you need it, you won't have light. So, and now let me go and turn on the generator. So now I'm back. So, in case you're just getting to meet me, I am Dio Samuel, and everywhere, online, offline, my name is Dio Samuel. That's a constant. I don't change my name, so I don't use nicknames. I just use my name everywhere. And first information I want you to know about me is that I studied graphic design in school. So I'm going to be teaching you from a place of professionalism. I started my first design business in 2002. I might have to mute everyone who's on this meeting except myself. You get that? You get that? I might have to mute everyone once I notice your sound is interrupting. So I started my first design in 2002, and the name of the design company was called Design Direct. And from that time, I've been designing and designing and designing. 2014, I launched a new company. 2019, I launched another company that are doing different things. So I'm going to be coming from a place of somebody who does this as a business, as well as someone who does this as a profession. I've been privileged to work in brand communication agencies. I've been privileged to work with advertising companies. And interestingly, I always work with many of the companies as an external consultant. So they give me certain projects to handle for them. I step in. Okay, let me give you a little inkling here. The logo of the church tram was designed in our office by me and someone, by me and my boss. The logo of the church, the Redeemed Evangelical Mission, was designed inside our office. So there are a lot of things that you probably have been seeing around you, maybe across Nigeria, because there are some of them that we've done in different places around the nation. And I've been privileged to be part of a lot of projects. So I teach graphic design at a private university, just as Micah mentioned, and I also teach this to the public sometimes. Once in a while, I just run certain trainings like that. I teach a couple of softwares, but this training we are going to focus on how to use Canva and Photoshop for the first couple of weeks. Then in the next couple of weeks, you'll be introduced to product design and user interface design. So I hope that is good for you to go. So in case you want to get into the conversation and chat, please. Okay, is it possible to have the mic closer? Do you think you cannot hear me clearly? So again, let me unmute everyone here right now. So please unmute yourself. Let me know that you can hear me so that I know that everybody can hear me. You can unmute yourself right now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes, sir. I can
And
hear
my
you.
mic.
I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Very good, very good, very good, very good. So today we are going to lay the foundation for what we are going to be doing. So I love the introductions we made, especially the part of talking about I heard something just now. I don't know what that means. So the part of us talking about what we understand by design, I like that part. And I think you already know what design is. So I will not be introducing you again to what graphic design is. But then I'm going to go ahead and lay the foundation for some of the things we'll be looking at in the next couple of weeks. Now, the first thing I want you to know is every design is a communication. Design goes beyond just visual. It goes beyond just what you see. Every design you see is a communication. And in order to guide that, let me share my slide here. Now, I also want to mention here as well that this kind of training and these kind of classes, there are typically different categories of people that come to this kind of class. I've been long enough taking trainings for as long as possible and teaching people to kind of categorize everybody who comes to this kind of classes into 5 different categories. So the first category, and I want you to write that down, are the categories of people I call spectators. Spectators come to this kind of training, to this kind of class, because they just want to come and watch things. They just want to come and see things. They just want to come and see what is going on. Practically, they will not do anything. They will not use it for anything. They will just be there just to see. Let me come and see what is going on so that I just see what is going on. That is basically what they come in to do. The second category of persons who come to this kind of training are people I call stylists. And stylists are those types of people who tag along. That is, they join classes, they join things because they are friends, or a friend of theirs is doing it, or a friend of theirs is participating in that class. So I don't know, maybe you are here right now, you are just here because you just want to just tag along. If that is you, man, you will need to step up. And then there's a third category that I refer to as starters. Starters are basically people who start a training like this, but before we go on, they will kind of end on the way. So starters tend to start a lot of things. They're always fond of starting this, starting that, starting this, starting that, starting this, starting that. And then there's the fourth category that I refer to as stoppers. Stoppers have a natural tendency to start things, but they eventually get to bounce off. So they get to bounce off eventually. So they are the type of persons who start something and then maybe they run into certain encounters, into certain challenges. They drop off and say, well, I'm not really interested in that thing again. I'm not even going to use it for anything before self. So let me go away. Let me just leave it. That is all. So I want you to consider right now, are you a spectator? Are you a stylist? Are you a starter? Are you a stopper? Or you can be the fifth category that I refer to as achievers, people who see things to success, people who try to ensure that whatever it is they get started with, they ensure they see it to a favorable end. They don't just drop off on the way. So any of them that you feel you are right now, I want you to write in the chat box the category that you belong to. And if you feel it's private enough that you don't want to put yourself out there, you can write it in your diary, in your document, in your notes. Just keep it somewhere so that you can see that even though you are a spectator, even though you are a starter, even though you are a stylist, or maybe you are a stopper, you can always be an achiever, somebody who achieves success doing that thing. So the reason why I shared that is to let you know that if you are starting this today, you can make a commitment today that you are going to see this entire bootcamp, this entire training through to the end. That is, you are not just going to drop off one way or the other, halfway, and then that's all. And you just say, I could join it. I did not do anything. So I want you to understand that right now. Okay, so with that foundation laid, let's look at what is so let me first of all introduce you to, I want to hear from everyone here. What do you think branding is? You remember that you have talked about design earlier on. So I want to ask you right now, what do you think branding is? What is branding? So you can unmute yourself if you want to talk, one person after the other. So unmute yourself, or maybe raise your hand so that you can speak. You can raise your hand if you want to speak. What do you think branding is? If you don't want to talk, you can actually type in the chat, because I'm looking at the chat right now as well. So what do you think branding is, or what is a brand? So I'm watching out. So who's going to answer that? Okay, go on if you have unmuted yourself. Go on. What
Hello,
is
sir.
branding, or what is a brand? Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so my name is Taiwo Dwande.
Okay.
So I feel branding is the way of giving an organization or a body a form of identity whereby people would be able to see them and communicate with them due to their identity in which they have gotten through the through branding. So it's a way of giving an organization or a body an identity.
Okay. Thank you for that. You say your name is?
Odwade Taiwo.
Okay. Okay. But your name is shown as unknown user, so I'm wondering why it's still unknown user.
None of my features is actually active, so maybe I'll try to log out and log in again.
Okay. Because I need to be seeing each person's name to track your engagement in class. So any other person, if you have answered what is branding, who wants to tell me what a brand is? Hi.
Okay, hi, my name is Oluwaseun. So to me, a brand
Your name
is
is what? Kemilawal, right?
yes,
Okay,
Oluwaseun.
good.
Yes. So to me, a brand is something that is unique, individual or an organization. So it can be in terms of their name, it can be in terms of their color, the logo, their design, their symbol. So it's just something, a unique identifier to an individual or an organization.
Amazing. It looks like everybody already knows what you are even doing in this class. So I think all of you can graduate already. So thank you for that. Thank you.
Hello,
Who
sir.
else has a differing opinion?
I don't know if my name is showing now.
Okay, it's still not showing, but your name is still showing an unknown user, but it's okay. Let me see if we can.
I can't even access the chat from my phone.
Okay, you should be able to click the chat from the left side. Okay, so David Oyolo says a brand will be described as a personality that embodies an idea. So thank you, David.
Okay, hello.
Thank you for that. Thank you. Please go on.
My chat is disabled over here. So I'm sorry, sir.
Oh, okay. Okay, so maybe what you do is leave and then come back. So maybe that should be helpful. So somebody wants to say something as well. Okay, so in the absence of anyone, okay, so somebody says that branding, says branding is a marketing strategy for your business that reveals your unique identity. Amazing, 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 amazing. So now, if we have all said this, what I want you to now answer is, what is the difference between branding and brand? So depending on the definition that you've given, what is the difference between branding and brand?
Yeah,
hello, sir.
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can.
Yes. So I would like to say the
Your
basic
name?
difference between my name is Raymond.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So I actually think that the basic difference between branding and brand, it's like branding is a marketing, like kind of a marketing strategy or a marketing practice. How you try to like it kind of involves, let me not say that it will involve advertising. The art approach you adopt in your marketing, pushing out your brand actually. You know, so now I'm bringing in the brand aspect of the branding is the perception, how you want public to perceive your company or a particular product, how you want the public to perceive it. While branding is an approach you use to market whatever it is you are actually branding, because whatever you're doing, you're doing it for the public. You have a particular intention for them to see it and like it and come close and buy or whatever it is that you're doing. So basically, that's what I think is the difference between two of them.
Okay, so thank you, Raymond. Who else? Somebody else unmuted him or herself the other time. Who was that person?
I'm also interested in something.
Okay, Uduak, go ahead.
Okay, a brand is who you are, what you do, and how people perceive you. Why branding is putting yourself out there, a visual interpretation of what you do, how you advertise yourself to people.
Okay, if I get it clearly, brand is what?
Is who you are. Like you are doing a business, that's your brand. Then branding is how you put your business out there.
Okay, good. Thank you for that answer. Kemi Lawal, you want to say something?
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, in addition to what I mentioned earlier about brand being a unique identifier, so I think branding is much more of a continuous thing because you have to continuously ensure that you put out this branding to give yourself or your organization a positive image. So it's more of a strategy or like the way you continuously package yourself or your organization.
Okay, thank you, everyone. To add the contributions of other people, Remlekun Wahab says, branding is a marketing practice by a company or business creates a name, symbol, or design that is easily identifiable as belonging to the company. Very good. Brand, Luagbemisola Deniji says, brand is the concept, while brand is the packaging. So Taiwo, you might need to write your complete name so that we know the particular Taiwo so that we don't confuse in the place of attendance and engagement. So a brand is a unique identity of your business. Branding is a form of or a way of packaging your business to make it appealing to potential customer. Okay, great. David Oyewole says branding is a process that leads the target audience to perceive a personality of firm in a specific way. Amazing, amazing. Everybody clap for yourself. Now, in my classes, there are no right and wrong answers. Thank you for that. There are no right and wrong answers in my own class, so every answer is correct. There's no wrong answer, okay? So everybody is correct. Now, can you see my screen? I started sharing my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
What
sir.
can you see on the screen?
Yes, sir, we can. Branding versus brand.
Okay,
Yes,
but
you
you can't.
can see your screen.
Okay, great. So let me make this a little clearer for all of us. So let me kind of explain something. So here's the first thing I want you to understand. Jeff Bezos says that your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. Okay? That is the perception they have about you when you're not in the room. And you know the interesting thing? He is correct. Brand is more than logo design. Brand is more than advertising. Brand is more than copywriting. Brand is more than slogans. You know why? Because a brand is not just the part of just packaging it. So let me make it a little clearer. Brand is the entity. Branding is the process. Do you get it now? Brand is the entity. Branding is the process. And when I say brand is the entity, what that means is brand is the experience people have with your product, with your services, is the perception they have of what you are doing. Branding is the process of creating that experience, creating that perception. Do you get it now? So once you understand that brand is who the person really is, like somebody mentioned the other time, brand is who you are, brand is how you make others perceive who you are. Now, you may be wondering, so how does this relate to design? How it relates to design is this. Every single design you create as a graphic designer either communicates to enhance the brand or it destroys the brand. Remember that branding is the process. Brand is the entity, right? Brand is the experience. So for example, if you think of MTN right now, if you think of if you think of MTN right now, if you think of Airtel right now, the way you perceive the two companies are different, but they are working in the same industry. Am I correct? The two of them are in telecoms, right? But they are not doing the same, they are not perceived the same way. In fact, Globacom doesn't have the same perception as Airtel, doesn't have the same perception as MTN. They all have different perceptions. That perception is usually based on the experience people have with that company, with that product, or with some of their products. And that shapes the perception, which is the brand. Branding is the advert they do, or how they make the adverts appeal to us. Branding is how they make the communications appeal to us and all that. I hope you understand what I'm explaining here right now. Can you understand that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Great.
Yes, sir.
Now, so that we can also get this clearly, when we talk about branding, there are three kinds of brand. There is personal brand, there is product branding, and there is provider branding. And three of them have different approaches. They don't take the same approach. So if you are designing a personal brand, so a personal brand, for example, it is the name of a person. A person is the product. So for example, Tony Robbins, Gary Vaynerchuk, Oprah Winfrey, Sam Adeyemi, all those are personal brands. Do you get it now? All those are personal brands, but they are not products. Now, a product is an entity like a digital or a physical product. It could be a book, it could be something that's everywhere as Milo. Milo is a product branding. Nestle or Nestle is the provider. Coca-Cola is a product of a company called Nigerian Bottling Company. So I put an example here. WhatsApp is a product of a company called Facebook. Google is a product of a company called ABC. Alphabet. Do you get it now? And a provider is a branding that encapsulates everything the company or the organization or the group or the entity pushes out to people. So I hope that is clear now. At this point, I'm going to again mute everyone. I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone. There's no audio interfering with our conversation here. So let me stop sharing for a while and then come back to me right now. So I want to take a little feedback here. What have you understood so far? The difference between branding and brand. I needed to lay that foundation so that as we jump into all of these, you have your, because when I give you task, I'm going to be giving you tasks based on what I've taught you, not what I assume that I taught you. So who wants to go first? Who wants to explain these things to me, what you've understood so far? So you can unmute yourself and say something.
All right, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, I can hear you, Victoria.
Yeah. He said that a brand is the entity, that is the experience people have with your company. Why the branding is the process, that is the process of creating that experience. So I think that was what I got from what said.
Great. Did Ida says that the branding shapes the brand? Yeah, please go on.
Okay, so according to what you said, so branding is the kind of perception, the way people see your product or what you do. Why brand is the product or that you create.
I think you matched them together. I think you modeled them together. So based on what you said now,
brand is the entity.
No, brand is the experience, is the entity.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Like he said, brand is the entity. Why branding is the process. That is the process of getting to that of making that brand.
Entity.
Yeah.
Good. Now you get it. The reason why I need to clarify that as well is so that you understand that even as a designer, you are also a brand. Every product you create shapes the perception people have about you. Every touch point people have with you shapes their perception of you. Do you get that? So if you do a design, the design is to communicate who you are. The design is to communicate the essence of your brand, and the process of creating the design, that's the aspect of the branding. So you get now. Now, just to give you a couple of examples here, let me mute everyone again. And then show something on the screen here. So quickly looking at personal branding, Seth Godin is one of the most influential marketing experts, and he says a personal brand. He has companies, but he also has his personal brand. Oprah Winfrey, for example, is also another personal brand. She has companies in a name, but she is primarily, in fact, Oprah Winfrey Network own is in a name. In fact, she has another company called Oprah, Harpo, or Harpo rather, which is an inversion of her name, Oprah. And then there's Steve Jobs. Jobs founded Apple as well as what's the name of this design company that he created and this animation company. But it's most known as Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple. That's a personal brand matched with a provider branding. And then there is also this lady, a musician. She's also building a personal brand. And then there's Sam Adeyemi who's also building a personal brand. Now, all of these there are different experiences you have with each of these persons. Do you get it now? Personal brands typically reflect personal reputations. They differentiate individuals by creating awareness of who they are, what they stand for, what they do best, and how they contribute to the world around them. So if you are a designer, you will need to work on developing, either you develop a personal brand or you develop a provider brand. And when I say a provider brand, remember that a provider brand is an organization, it's a company, it's a PLC, is a group. It could be a group. So for example, Audacity to Lead is a provider. GIZ is a provider. You are mentioning GIZ, you are mentioning Nerdzfactory. You are not mentioning the names of the people who created the companies. Do you understand that? So those are provider branding. So when you are creating your work as a designer, part of the things you need to do is establish yourself as an expert. Of course, in order to become an expert, you simply need to know better than your clients. That's a simple way to establish yourself as an expert. Simply know better than your client. And I'm glad that you're in this class. And then enhance your visibility and reputation, as well as differentiate yourself from competitors based on your unique style and talent. And I need to mention that what separates all of these different people from each other is the fact that they have their own unique personality, unique way of doing things. Apple is in the same market with Microsoft, but they don't operate the same way. Do you get it now? And those are some of the things you are meant to do for your clients. Do you get that? This is what I refer to as product branding. When you package a product in a way that, so for example, product branding is what is now referred to as user experience, user interface. That's part of product branding, okay? Now, there's also provider branding. And when I say provider branding, we are looking at companies like FedEx, Apple, Disney, MTN, General Electric, Walmart, ExxonMobil, Zara, plenty companies. Now, here is what we are going to be working on, because the way we are going to be doing this class is going to be project-based. So right about now, I want you to pick your notes and then we will all do something right now. So there are three categories of companies that we are going to be working with in this entire time of working together. Okay, so first category is going to be a tech company. Second category is going to be a marketing agency. And then the third category is going to be an SME. And when I say marketing agency, I'm referring to a web-based marketing agency or so, or maybe a web-based digital advertising agency. And then the third one can be an SME. So I want you to write those three down and then let's suggest names. Let's come up with names. So what names can we work with? Which companies do you know in the area of tech, whether fintech, whether any tech? Come up with the name of a company or suggest names of companies right now. You can type that in the chat rather than.
Okay, there is Andela.
Okay, there's Andela. Okay. Okay, we suggest another one.
Sorry, I just have an information to pass across.
Okay.
The attendance, I just posted the sign-in attendance into the chat now. So everybody, please try to sign in right now. I guess you should have finished getting your e-signature right now. So please sign in right now. Thank you.
Okay, so while you are doing that, While you're doing that, you can unmute yourself then if you want to say something. So somebody has suggested Andela. Who else is going to suggest another company in tech? Another company in tech.
Techno.
You said what?
Techno.
Techno, okay. Who else can suggest another one?
Piggyvest.
Piggyvest. Interesting.
Microsoft.
Microsoft. Okay, let me just write it there, even though it's not going to be long on our list eventually. So thank you for those suggestions, Andela, Techno, Piggyvest, Microsoft. So marketing agency or a digital advertising agency, let's suggest. Now, if you can't answer these, what is suggesting to me is that you probably don't know the market you're playing in.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, my name is Neka.
Okay.
Okay,
Neka,
one of the
go
marketing
ahead.
agencies is Insight Communications.
Insight at this place. Okay. Somebody else wanted to say something.
Okay,
Thank you very much, Neka.
Another one is GIZ.
G what?
GIZ.
Is GIZ a marketing company? Is GIZ a marketing
Okay,
company?
can we?
You said?
iSober.
How is it spelled? I did not get that.
ISOBAR.
ISOVAR. Okay. Who else wants to suggest a marketing or a digital advertising agency? Anyone that you know? And then, as you are thinking of that,
Zama
start
Media
thinking of
Agency.
SMEs. Zama, Z-A-M-A-R,
Zama Media.
right?
Yes.
Okay. So those are three. Now for SME, suggest 3 SMEs. Now, what does SME mean? SME means companies that are not very big. They are just so suggest SMEs. So it may be an SME you've seen in your area.
Okay, there's Credital.
Credital. Okay, Credital is a branding. So thank you for
Okay.
that.
Yes.
Go on. I heard your voice.
Pick me up services. Pick me up services.
Pick me up services.
Pick me up services.
Okay. Any other person wants to suggest?
Farm crowding.
Both.
Both is not SME. Both is tech.
Farm crowding.
Farm crowding too is tech.
Tutoria.
Tutoria is tech also. Why are you now mentioning all these names now? Why didn't you mention them before? So anyway, it's okay. So all we will need to do is to agree on one that we are going to pick from these categories that you've mentioned. Now I'm going to look at them. We are going to pick one from each category. So both is tech, both now. You want to say something? Okay, so you are not saying anything. So the approach we are going to use in this entire training is going to be a project-based approach. So we are coming up with these names because we are going to be creating projects in order to promote, like we are working on the branding of these organizations. Okay, so that's the idea. So let's look at, for this first category, I would say we should use Andela might not be good. Techno might not be good. Piggyvest. Piggyvest is everywhere. So let's look at Okay, so let's vote here. Let's vote, and you have to vote using chat. So please, if you can chat, that would be very, very good. So we are going to vote for either of Piggyvest or Farm Crowdy or Tech. Piggyvest or Farm Crowdy. Let your voting start now. I wish I had the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire soundtrack. I'll just be playing it for you. So that
Lot of us cannot type.
okay, not all of you can type. Okay. If you want to speak, then go on and speak. Okay, Farm Crowdy, Piggyvest, 1-1, 2-1, 3-1,
Piggyvest,
4-1, 5-1, 6-1,
Piggyvest.
6-2, 7-2, 8-2. That's interesting though. 9-2, 10-2. Okay, it's okay.
Why is everybody
Piggyvest has won.
Piggyvest?
So everybody has Piggyvest. So Piggyvest will be for. So here's how we are going to do it. For those who voted Piggyvest, actually, I want to look at all the participants. We have 44 participants here. So Piggyvest is number 1. Let me not reveal the story yet. So Insights, Isova, and Zamar, I want you to pick one. I want you to vote for one of those 3 right now. Actually, let's take out Insights. Isova or Isova and Zamar. Let's vote for one of those 2. Voting starts now and just for the next couple of seconds. Voting starts now.
Zamar.
2, 3,
Zamar.
4, 1.
Isova.
Okay, I've lost count, so I've lost count.
Isova.
Okay, so I'm Mary Isova, I'm Mary Isova. Okay, let me work with the chat. That one I can count that one. So from here, I see Zama, Isova 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6, 2, 7, 2. That's interesting. Isova. Okay, so most people are choosing Zama. So Zama will be the brand we'll work with. Now, from these 2, we want to pick one. Creditor or Pick Me Up. I have a bias, so but I will not reveal my bias first. Let's vote. Creditor or Pick Me Up for the last one.
Creditor. Pick Me Up.
Creditor.
2-1. Okay, 2-2, 3-2, 3-3, 4-3, 4-4. I'm counting 5, 4,
Pick me
5,
up.
4, 6, 4, 7, 4.
Pick me up, boys. Pick me up.
8, 4. So I think Pick Me Up is leading. Thank you.
Yeah,
that was my bias initially too. Creditor will not really need what you want to do, but Pick Me Up might pick up what you want to do. So Pick Me Up would be the SME brand. Zama would be the marketing agency. I'm going to mute everybody again. Zama will be the marketing agency, and then Piggyvest will be the tech company. Okay? So every project that I give you in this class throughout this entire training, you are going to be working with one of these 3. I'm going to assign one of these 3 to each of us. So it's going to be either you work on a Piggyvest project, or you work on a Zamar project, or you work on a Pick Me Up project. The reason why I chose these companies is because they have the tendency to recognize whatever it is you do for them. But if you choose a company like Andela might not even look at, they might even see your design and then they may go away. Like, you don't need, do you understand? But working with these companies, picking these names, you could perhaps you could work your way to becoming maybe one of their designers. Who knows? Do you get it now? So put your mind and your heart and your hand. Do you get it now? Put your hand, your head, and your heart into this as you are working, so that you create something that is visually appealing and well presented. I'm going to walk you through how to create all of that. So at this point, let's jump into the principles that guide design, so that you can see the principles that guide design, so that you can create design based on principles and not haphazardly.
Right.
So, who is speaking?
I'm sorry to cut into the time, right? I noticed some people have not signed in. Some people have not signed in. Please sign your attendance. It's very. Hello, did you get what I said?
From my own end, I did not hear you.
No.
I guess
No.
somebody else.
The network was very terrible.
I was saying that your attendance is really important. If you've not signed in, please sign in. Today is the first day. That's why I'm having to come and remind you like this. Quite a number of people have not signed in. Please sign in and make sure you upload your e-signature. All right, thank you. Please sign in. I'm also still going to post the sign out attendance. All right, thank you, everyone.
Is Motunrayo in this meeting at all? Is Motunrayo in this meeting at all? I'm not sure I've seen Motunrayo so far. Motunrayo, please. Okay, I can see Motunrayo down. So Motunrayo, please continue the admission of people. I'm noticing that some people will drop off and can come back. Please handle their admission so that I can. Okay, so quick question. Can you please make the slides available? David Oyewole is asking. At this point, I can't give a yes to that, but hopefully I'm going to see if that's a possibility. You won't eventually need the slides because we are working on practicable stuff here. So the slide is just to guide the conversation for the parts where I need to teach. Most parts will be more of I'm showing you how to design. So we are walking through designs one after the other. You get it now? So the slides may not really be necessary. So let's jump into principles of art and design. So first principle, and I want you to see this using a picture. So when we talk about design, every design you see that catches your attention has been designed based on principle. A lot of times, people don't pay attention to the principles when they create their own design, so their designs seem to be everywhere. Now, I have an impression to show you a couple of the designs that I've done, especially in recent times. So I'm going to show you once I explain these principles here. So principles of design, there are a number of principles, so they are not limited to the ones I'm going to teach you, but I'm going to teach you these ones so that you can always pay attention to the ones I teach you in this class, so that you don't go and do work and then I'm asking you, what principle are you following here? And then you can't defend yourself. And by the way, one of the things that I learned when I was a student in the university is the concept of the fact that every mistake in a design is still a design. So your design will never be perfect. The imperfection in your design is still a design. So never be afraid of sharing your designs inside this class. Never be scared of saying, my design will not be good, so I don't know, maybe they are going to accept it. Never be afraid of that. Always have the mind of, if I'm asked, I'm going to be able to explain why. And sometimes you don't need to prepare your answer. Sometimes the answer will come as you are trying to explain what your design is about. So I need to mention that to you so that you don't feel like perfection is what we are gunning for. Perfection is what I personally, I don't gun for perfection. What I go for is you can intelligently put together something that is appealing to the eyes and makes sense. Remember I said earlier on that every design is a message. So your design should be able to communicate a message. So first principle that you need to see here, first principle that you need to learn here is what I call balance. In fact, let me not start with balance. Let's start with emphasis, because this is the most important thing in your design. Every single design you see, there's always a part that is emphasized. And what emphasis means is something that needs to be the biggest. Emphasis means emphasis, right? It means you are emphasizing. You want people to pay attention to that thing. So emphasis simply means that you are emphasizing something. Something needs to be big. Something needs to take the center stage. Something needs to be what people will first of all spot the moment they look at your design. The second thing that looks like it is balance. So as you create your design, there needs to be a balance. Third thing is what I call, or what is referred to as contrast. Contrast means black is opposite of white. Anytime you are creating any design, your contrast is very, very important. You can create contrast using colors, you can create contrast using fonts, you can create contrast using elements of your design, but you always need to put in mind that your contrast is very, very important. Contrast simply means that, see this arrow here now, this arrow points to this black here. You see this arrow as gray. What it means is there is black and there is a gray background. Unlike if you have this black here, so if you look at these glasses here, you see that these glasses here, this black of this glass frame is blended into this background. So you can't see it because there's no contrast between the glass and the air. But there's contrast between this air and this background. That's what contrast means. There's contrast between this purple and this background here. And then there's rhythm. Rhythm means the flow of your design. Anytime anybody looks at your design, they should be able to spot the flow, the rhythm. And sometimes rhythm could be associated with alignment. That is how your design is aligned. Is your design placed in the center? Is your design placed to the left? Or is your design placed to the right? And then there is also pattern. Pattern means elements of your design that repeat themselves or that repeat itself. Do you get it now? And the last thing is movement. Your design needs to have movement. Sometimes movement and rhythm can be associated together. That is, there's a flow, there is a movement, there's something going on the screen. And the last thing I want you to pay attention to is unity. No matter what you design, your design needs to be a cohesive whole. If your design is scattered everywhere, then it becomes problematic. Let me explain that a little. So this is another set of principles of design. Pattern, as I explained earlier on, means a regular arrangement of alternated or repeated elements or motifs. Contrast, the juxtaposition of elements of design. So if you look at this picture here, if you look at these ones here, please, can you see my screen? Can you see it bigger now? Is it big?
Yes,
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, it's big.
Great. So I zoomed in so that you can see it. So contrast, for example, if you notice here, you notice that contrast here shows white placed over black. White placed over any other color that is kind of opposite of each other. Now, emphasis, as I explained earlier on, you notice here that everything here is arranged one after the other, and then there is one that is big. This object here is the one that is being emphasized. In your design, there's always a place that you need to put special attention or importance to. You need to give one part of your design importance, or you need to give it a upper hand over every other thing. And then there is balance. So balance means if you are creating design, your design needs to have a feeling of balance that results from the elements arranged symmetrically or asymmetrically to create the impression of equality of weight. That is, so for example, let me zoom out and then draw something on the screen here. So let's say I'm creating a design, and in my design, I want to use a triangle. And this is how I make the triangle. And then I now write a text here. And I write a text here. So this is text. If you see me drawing like this, I have a drawing pen. I'm not just using it right now. So I'm just drawing with my finger on the screen, with my finger on the keypad. This right now totally shows an object that is out of balance. A triangle will most likely not stand on its head. Am I correct? But if you draw a triangle and you draw the triangle like this, it is obvious that this is balanced. It can sit. So sometimes you somebody they will create a design. One design is almost going outside of the design space, and one design is sitting down somewhere. It's out of balance. So as you create a design, always consider balance. And then of course, scale in association with emphasis. Scale is you have small object, you have big object. That's what scale means. Balance and harmony seem to be the same thing. I've already explained the rhythm and movements. That is the use of recurring elements to direct the eyes through your design. The way elements are organized to lead the eyes from one point to the other. That is a rhythm, that is movement. And in modern times, some people call it flow. In fact, scientifically, they call it the concept of flow. Unity, when every part is connected in some way and can be seen as one. So, having mentioned that, here are some other principles. I am just showing you different ways to look at them right now. So, reading here shows what? Okay, good. Look at, I'm writing with a yellow pen right now. I'm writing with a yellow pen right now. Can you see what I'm writing?
Yes, sir.
Well, can you see it clearly?
Yes, clear.
In comparison
No.
to writing,
No.
in comparison to what I am writing right now, to what I'm scribbling on the screen right now, can you see this one clearly?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
What's the
Yes,
difference between the two of them?
Contrast.
Amazing. Clap for yourself. Please, everybody clap for him right now. Do a virtual clap for him.
Yeah.
That's the simple difference in putting a yellow on a white background and putting a yellow on a black background. The simple difference is just contrast. It's not that yellow is not good. It's just that the yellow is improperly positioned. Do you understand now? So anytime you are doing or you are working on a design, always ensure that these principles are things that guide your design. In fact, I never teach any graphic design class, whether I'm teaching Canva, whether I'm teaching CorelDRAW, whether I'm teaching InDesign or I'm teaching Photoshop, whatever it is I'm teaching, principles always lay the foundation, because once you understand the principles that guide design, it becomes easier for you to actually flow. It becomes easier for you to do anything you want to do. At least you are doing it within the confines of the principles. And by the way, if you are the type that likes to rebel wisely, okay? So if you don't like to conform to rules, don't conform in a good way. So proportion, of course, I've explained that before. And look at design principle, this hierarchy. Hierarchy is still the same thing as scale, contrast, balance, proximity. All of those, there are different English, there are different language that are used to describe all of them, but they still come back to the same thing. Hope you are getting something right now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you're following.
Good. So let's consider the last part of this theory part that we need to look at before we jump into the actual design, the ones that will now begin to create this thing for you. I want you to put, if you are looking at your screen right now, I want you to move your head from left to right as you're looking at my screen right now. Move your head from left to right, from right to left. In case you feel dizzy, it's okay. It's part of it's part of the exercise. So move your head from left to right, still focusing on the screen, but move your head from left to right and be looking at the screen. In fact, pick an object, pick one particular circle out of the many circles on the screen right now. Focus on it and be looking and be moving your head as you do that. What do you observe? Somebody had to breathe. Interesting.
Felt a little dizzy.
Okay. Who else felt something?
I pay me
moving as I'm moving also.
It was moving as you were moving. Interesting. You know why it's feeling dizzy? Number one, arrangement. Number two, colors. And number three, it contains illusion. So it is an illusory image. But I used it deliberately to explain something to you. So let's look at how colors help your design. Remember again that today I'm laying the foundation, because when we are going to begin working and then you now do something for me and I'm like, are you kidding me? You know it's not because I've not taught you. I'm not like those parents that will not teach their children and be demanding excellence from their children. I'm not that kind of person. I'll first of all let you know what I'm expecting, and then so that when I'm demanding those things from you, you will not have the excuse that I've not told you yet. So let's look at colors and your design. I'm still hearing some people's voices and some people's breathing. So maybe you should please mute yourself right now. So while you're at that, I'm going to mute everybody myself. So colors or color is an element of art and design that refers to reflected light. Color theory is defined as a theory because it cannot be proven or it cannot be proved. Theories are generally accepted despite the fact that I'm here in case you are not hearing me. Theories are generally accepted despite the fact that they cannot be proven. Laws are accepted because they can be proven. Now, color as an element of your design can be broken down Color as an element of your design can be broken down into 4 parts. Number 1 is the color wheel. Number 2 is the color value. Number 3 is color scheme. And number 4 is the psychology of colors. And I'm going to walk you through all of these right about now. So let's start with the color wheel or color prism. Color prism is what leads to color wheel. So if you have done science before, if you have ever been to a science class or maybe a technical drawing class, maybe not necessarily technical drawing class, maybe a physics class particularly, or maybe a basic science class, they probably have explained to you before that if you carry a glass prism and you reflect it through white and you pass white light through it, the white light will come out as dispersed different shades of color. And what that means is that all colors mixed together will form a color. Either it forms white or it forms black. And as you can see, white and black are not in the colors that the prism is reflecting. You know the reason why? Because white and black oftentimes are base colors. That is, they are colors that lay the foundation for every other thing you want to do. They are colors that are used intermittently as you create your designs. Now let's look at color wheel. Color wheel basically refers to the categories of color that exist and how they flow, how they connect with each other on the color wheel. So we have 3 categories of color. Number 1 category is what we refer to as primary colors. We refer to them as primary colors. Primary colors are made up of 3 simple colors: red, yellow, blue. If you look at the screen right now, you see that that's what I have on my screen. Red, yellow, blue. Those are primary colors. Red, yellow, blue. All other colors are created or made from red, yellow, and blue. Do you get that? Now, there are the second category, which is referred to as secondary colors. Secondary colors are a combination of 2 primary colors. So let me draw that on the screen for you so that you can, let me start pointing those out on the screen for you. Let me use black since there's no color here that is black. So you see, this is primary, and this is primary. So this is blue here, primary. This is yellow here, primary, and this is red here, primary, right? Now there's secondary. Secondary means when you combine red and blue together, you get a color that's associated, often called violet, or you can call them purple. So secondary, when you combine red and yellow, you get orange. When you combine yellow plus blue, you get green. Do you get that? And then when you combine red and blue in certain degrees, so you know what they refer to as 50 shades of gray. I'm referring to the literal meaning, not the metaphoric meaning. Like when you have white and black, and you now start putting small element of black, it turns gray gradually. When you pick 50% red, and 50% blue, you get violet. But when you vary them, so let's say 50 or 75% red and 25% of blue, remember that it's red, so you get this kind of color here. If you have more blue than more red, you have this kind of color here, this blue violet. Same thing with green. Yellow plus blue makes green, but when you have a lot of blue and less yellow, you have this kind of blue-green. And when you have more yellow than green, you have this color here. The same thing for red and yellow. Red and yellow combined together will create orange. But when you have more red than yellow, you have red-orange. And when you have more yellow than red, you have yellow-orange. Actually, the correct name of this color is called yellow ochre. That's the name that you find, especially when you get into art. Now, color values. I hope we understand that. Please, do you understand that? Yes, no, yes, no.
Yes, we do.
Yes,
we do.
Great. Now, color values. Color value is the darkness or lightness of a color. It indicates the quantity of light reflected. Now, when dealing with pure color, which is referred to as hue, values can be affected by either adding white or black to that color. Adding white to a color produces a tint. Dark values with black are called shades. So like I said, 50 shades of gray, like I mentioned the other time. It could be 50 shades of blue. It could be 50 shades of green. So it means as you're adding white or you're adding black, the color continues to change. Always have in mind that value is the relationship of that light to dark. So saturation, on the other hand, means the brilliance or the intensity of a color. And I'm mentioning this because no matter the software you are using, you always work with saturation, you always work with hues, you always work with what's it called again? You work with values, you work with I think vibrance. Now, ROIC is what is referred to as RGB on screen, while CMYK is the printer's palette. Mute your mic. Ensure your mic is muted. Now, Micah, please help me mute everybody. Thank you. CMYK means the printer's palette, and CMYK is what's often used in printing when you want to print a physical. And when I say physical, I mean you want to print something physical. So let me bring examples on my screen here. So here is my book, for example. Here's a copy of my book. If you look at this is a CMYK printing. This is CMYK printing. So look at this is CMYK printing. Here is another book here. This is a CMYK printing. Do you get it now? When you are printing certain materials, you print as CMYK. And when you are printing certain materials, you print as RGB. So let me explain that RGB to you. If you can look at my screen right here, can you see this banner? So this banner, for example, is an RGB printing. It is not CMYK. Do you get? Or maybe you are printing directly from a computer. That is when you do RGB printing. But when you are printing, particularly when you are printing, that is, they will carry it through press. like through machine, a lot of times it is always CMYK. And CMYK means cyan, magenta, yellow, black. Cyan looks like blue, magenta looks like red, yellow is yellow, black is black. Color schemes are the intelligent ways colors are put together. And this is the part where you need to really pay attention. Everything I've discussed so far is to lay the foundation for what's to come. So one of the places that you need to particularly pay attention is this part of color schemes, because every design has a color scheme, no matter the design you're doing. So here is a book in my front here. So let me show you two books here. If you look at this book right now, you will notice that there is blue, gold, white, blue, gold, white. That's what they used. Every design has a color scheme. If you look at this design as well, you see that this has gold, black. You see all these colors here. And then at the back, you see the gold. And then you see the black. And then inside the book, you see gold, black splattered everywhere. So every design has a color scheme. And the more you understand how color schemes work and you are able to intelligently put colors together, seriously, your designs are going to be very fine. I'm going to show you designs after now. Now, there are a couple of ways to combine colors to create color schemes. One way is monochromatic, and monochromatic simply means the various shades, tones, or tints of just one single color. So for example, you can have red, and you can have different levels of red. Do you get it now? So you can have reds, you can have blues, you can have different blues. So if you pay attention to my screen here, you notice that this is blue. All this place like this is blue, but they have different gradation. They have different brightness, different darkness. And this is red here. You can see that the red goes from light to deep red. And the interesting thing is the moment you start introducing black as well, it starts going from red to beginning to become dark red. You get that? Now, monochromatic simply means one color, just all that. Now, there are also other color schemes apart from monochromatic. There's complementary color scheme. Complementary means when you have colors opposite each other on the color wheel. So, for example, you have orange here, and then you have blue at the other side. You have yellow here, you have purple at the other side. You have green here, you have red at the other side. What this means is that these are color combinations you can use even without thinking too much of what color should I use in my design, what color should I use in my design. You can simply just bank on color schemes and you will create fantastic designs. Do you get that? Now, there are also triad rectangular kind of color schemes where you pick colors from 4 different parts of your color wheel. So for example, you go from this side to this side, then you pick this, and you pick this, and then you come back to this. This is a good color combination. Do you get that? Now, you can also have analogous color scheme, which is where you have colors of almost the same kind of, all the colors kind of look the same. So for example, if I go from this to here right now, I'm working with this down to this. In my entire design, I can simply just use all of these colors, maybe matched with black or white, and the design will still look very appealing to the eyes. You can also have triadic, where you have just 3 colors from the color wheel as your primary design. So you have red, you combine it with, let's say you have red, you combine it with the blue, and then we combine it with yellow, and then this is just what you're using in your design. Or you can have a square type of design similar to this rectangle. Now, while rectangle is long, is of course you know rectangle, right? There's also square. So square means you're picking from 4 different equal angles on the color wheel. And then there's split complementary. Split complementary means that you're starting with, let's say, yellow is your base color, then you are simply going towards red, violet, and going towards blue, violet as your color. In fact, primarily, for one company that I run called Dio Samuel Research Multiversity, it is a split color that I'm currently using. And the color I'm currently using is yellow red violet, and blue violet. That's the color I'm using. Now, I've explained all of this to you. Let me pause here and show you some of the designs that I have been privileged to do over time. So let me open up folders. Let me open up some of my folders here. And okay, rather than share just that place, let me share my entire screen now. So let me share my entire screen so that it doesn't just pick only one element. Let me see. Let me share my entire screen. Okay, so please, can you see my entire screen right now? What can you see on the screen?
Yes, you can.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can see it.
Can you?
All designs folder.
Okay, good. So all designs folder. So let me go to downloads first and show you some designs I did this week using Canva. Let me see. So this is a design I made on Canva some days ago. I'm going to show you how to do it as well. Now, if you look at this design right now, you'll notice that I've just used primary red and yellow, white and black throughout. Do you notice that? And you can see here, and this is a design that was made on Canva. I'm going to show you how to do something like this as we go on. This is done from scratch using Canva. Now let me go back to the design folder. Okay, let me go back to the design folder here. So let me open up clients first, and then let me see if I can show you some designs. Let me see if I can show you some designs here. Okay, so here is a roll-up banner design. If you notice the colors that are used in the design, you notice that there are basically three colors in this entire design. There is purple, there is yellow, there is black, and there is white. Am I correct?
I can't see the roll-up banner.
Exactly, I can't see it.
Oh, you can't see the roll-up banner?
Yes, it's just stuff that the all designs
All
folder.
design folder.
Yes, sir.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so let me reshare the entire screen again. I want to share my entire screen, my desktop. So just hold on. I'm trying to let all my entire laptop show. So can you see this right now? What can you see on the screen right now?
Just blank.
Blank. Nothing.
Black. Okay,
Blank.
let's show it now.
Okay, we can see.
now.
Okay. That's going again.
Okay,
So the
so now you should
PowerPoint
be able to see.
presentation it went away.
Okay, so now you should be able to see. Now you should be able to
Still
see
blank.
everything here.
Still
You should be able
blank.
to see it now.
Maybe it's loading.
Still blank. Let's give it time.
Okay, it's showing now. We can see the screen.
You
Okay.
can see it now.
Yeah.
Hello. I hope all is well.
Can't see anything.
I think he's trying to settle something. His mic is off.
So what's happening now? Like, what's up now?
Probably he's trying to set up his screen again or something.
Okay.
Well.
So guys, just hold on a bit. Just hold on a bit for him. It should be back with us soon. I think he has some network issues. All right. Yeah.
Like the instructor is even my cat too.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, welcome back,
Are
sir.
we together? Are we?
Sorry. My Wi-Fi was
Yeah, I can hear you.
Welcome back, sir.
Oh, sorry. So, what was the last thing that I mentioned? What have you learned so far? So let me take a little feedback here. What have you learned so far?
Yeah, I learned about how to use colors effectively.
How to what?
How to effectively use colors and combine them, the different color schemes.
Hello? What is this? Yes.
Looks like we have a DJ in the class.
Oh my god. I
It's all right.
Think when you're not talking or saying anything, just put off your mic so we can have some quiet listening.
Okay. Somebody may need to pay attention to the lobby. Some people are hanging there. Okay, so I wanted to show you some designs. I remember. Thank you, Oluwato. Okay, I think David Oyewole, thank you for that. You are the one that reminded me. So, okay, so Oluwatobi says, learn the principle of design, which include balance elements. Great. Glad that you picked all of that. I'm going to meet everybody again. And then I'm now going to go ahead and share my entire screen. So, can you see my screen now?
No. Yes.
Yes, you can see it.
Yeah, it's gone again.
Yes, sir.
What can you see on screen right now?
Your folder.
So we can see a screen for
clients.
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it bigger. So it looks like that is how you will be able to view So let me make it bigger. Let me make it extra large. Okay, good. So hopefully right now you can see the design is bigger compared to what it was before, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, we can see them.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. I wanted to be viewing them one after the other, but it looks like that would not work. That will not work for what we are doing. So let me show you some designs. So let me show you some designs. So let me show you some designs. Okay, so okay, let me start with this one. I have to make every group big. Yeah, now extra large. So it's loading. Okay, so good. So can you see some of these designs? And some of them are very, very old designs. So look at these here. Now I want you to pay attention to this design here. This particular one. Can you see this one that I selected? This blue one here. In the sea of designs here, which of them seem to grab your attention?
The blue one.
Why?
Blue.
Why?
Because of the color.
First of all,
The
because
color
of
is
the
catchy.
image. No, the image actually attracts your attention. Forget the color. The image first, then before you notice the color. Let's not go
Everything is catchy.
Everything is catchy. The image is the emphasis there, bro.
But do you see what design can do? The design has communicated without me saying a pin, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Anytime you are designing, always ask, what do you want people to feel when they see your design? What do you want people to see? What do you want them to pay attention to in your design? The moment you start thinking that way, you will most likely create very, very amazing designs. Because by then, you will not just be designing anyhow. You'll be looking at, okay, let me use my design to tell a story. Let me use my design to grab attention. Let me use my design to pull people to what matters, to what I really want them to pay attention to. So all of these are different designs I've done at one point or the other. Some of them, they are designs that are very old. So let me see if I can find some here. Okay, so these are designed. So for example, this one here, and you see where my mouse is. Can you see my mouse?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
good.
sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is a design for a business card, while this is a design for a magazine. It's a magazine. It's for an organization in Benin. I live here in Lagos, but I just create design up and down, all across Nigeria, all across the world. Now here are other designs as well. Now look at this one. This squeaky clean here. You can't see anything. How?
I can
If you
see
can't see anything, just log out and log back in.
Yeah, we can see
Okay,
the
good.
designs. The one with the Africa shape.
We can
kind
see
of.
the one you did for Benin, the red and white kind of stuff.
It's just that it's a bit slow.
Yes, I understand.
It's a
It
bit
should be
slow.
slow, I get. It should be slow. So let me look at this. So in this folder here, these ones are books. Books that are kind of maybe one-off design or two-time design or three-time design. Hopefully it will load. And you know the interesting thing? This design of this 31st affirmation, for example, you can actually create it completely from scratch using just Canva. Do you get that?
Wow.
So you can create this 31st design. You can create it from scratch using Canva. By the way, some of you probably know this person. Let me scroll to her name so that you can see her name. this lady, this CNN hero lady, the only Nigerian that won CNN heroes, I think like 2 years ago. Founder of one Guess Something Tech. So these are different designs that I've done at some point in my own design journey. Now, my old designs are actually on an external hard disk beside my table here, but I don't need to connect all of that. These are different designs at different points for different questions, for different people. Everybody mute yourself again. Hi. If you don't mute yourself, if I spot your voice, so is that unknown user? I wish I know the person's name. Oh. So again, you can now, one of the things you will observe with all these designs are the use of colors. And the way I use color, sometimes the way I use color is different from how every other person uses color. So let me show you one particular design here that you may find very, very interesting. This one here, this stronger together. So let me scroll down to where you can see it. Okay, so good. So look at this bond to care, this one here, where you can see my mouse right now. Can you see my mouse, right? You can see me, right?
We can see
it. We can see
the
it.
mouse.
We can see it.
Yes, we can.
So if you look at this bond to care, for example, you'll notice that the colors seem to want to blend together. This is the actual cover here. This is the 3D cover here. And by the way, you can also make this 3D online. So, and you can also make it with Photoshop. Of course, as at this point, Canva cannot do it yet, except if I try to crack how Canva can do it, like some of the things that I cracked in the last couple of days.
Sir,
But if you look at this design,
what is Canva?
Okay. If you don't know
It's
Canva right now, I will introduce what Canva is to you. So just hold on. There's Canva, there's Photoshop, there's CorelDRAW. I'm still going to mention some of the names of design software that you can use. Okay. Now I'm just showing you all these designs here. So if you look at this one, for example, this is a magazine. And if you look at how it's done, the magazine is a marriage magazine. These are the two persons who were creating that particular edition, and I just used a picture.
Am I the only one, or is it everybody? Hello. Are we all here?
Yes, we are here.
I thought I was the only one. I had the network, something searching for network just now.
For 5 seconds ago.
Okay. Let's wait for Mr. Dyer. Please don't taste this searching.
Jeez.
I'm gonna get it.
Hello. Can you
Hello,
hear?
welcome back, sir. Yeah, we
Yeah,
can.
we can hear you, sir.
Hello.
I didn't know that my
Yes,
color.
I hear you.
I just
Yeah, welcome
continued.
back.
So, let me. Those powerful people that are making noise at the background. So this, for example, this is an example of a podcast cover. I did this from scratch using just Canva. No single design software. In fact, it was because I was rushing. The client was asking me, please, I need to quickly update my podcast on Anchor. This is also made on Canva. This is Canva. This is Canva here. This is Canva here. This is Canva. 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 So I'm showing you all of this to let you know that you can practically make all of these things even when you don't have complicated software, even if all you have is just basic Canva. Okay. Earlier on, I mentioned color scheme. Here's an example of color scheme. I'm going to show you how I used to create such color schemes. So at this point, let's move forward. Let's look at, let's continue our conversation of psychology of colors. Let's quickly talk about psychology of colors before we continue. So let's talk about the psychology. Somebody is still whispering something to somebody, and then I can hear your whispering. I'm going to. So let's quickly talk about psychology of colors, meaning of your favorite colors and why they matter. Some of you may tend to think that this is personality. It's not about personality. It's just the meaning of color. And interestingly, color meaning tends to change from location to location, from context to context. That what? Are you the only one that what?
Continue, sir. We are with you.
Okay. Please don't just unmute yourself when there's no need to speak to me or to speak to everyone. It is when you need to quickly tell me something that you should unmute yourself, okay? So here's what I want you to understand. Every color your eye perceives has a meaning. A great message on a great design, but bad colors can impair the impact of the design. So even though you have a very, very great message that you want to pass using your design, you have done a very, very good design. If you use bad colors, your design is not going to be as appealing as it ought to be. Color has been known to have a powerful psychological effect on people's behavior and decision, and this knowledge has been harnessed too well by designers and marketers alike. Now, some of you, the moment I mention marketers now, some of you may wonder, why does, when you are buying something on a website, why do they have a particular color, a particular button? It's either green or orange. Do you know the reason why? Because it's the psychology of color that they saw, and then they began to apply that. Colors can often be the sole reason why somebody will purchase a product. And in fact, 93% of buyers focus on the visual appearance, and almost 85% claim color to be the primary reason why they bought a product. Now, colors influence a lot of things: designs, marketing, branding, and even behaviors. Now, here's what you need to understand. Color is a form of non-verbal communication. It is not a static energy, and its meaning can change from one day to the next with any individual. It all depends on what energy they are expressing at one point in that time. Now, for example, if a person wears red on a particular day, it may indicate one of the following psychological meanings. It could mean that this is their favorite color, or it may mean that they are ready to take action in some way. They may be passionate about what they are going to be doing that day, or it may mean that they are feeling angry that day, either on, okay, this seems to just hang here, on either a conscious or subconscious level. Now, let's get to all the colors one after the other. I've just mentioned red, so let's look at red. Red is the color of passion and drama. This color attracts the most attention as is associated with strong emotions such as love, excitement, energy, courage, attention. In fact, it is because it is associated with courage, that's why Audacity to Lead uses red in their branding. Do you get that? It has a strong link to sexuality as well. It is often used in industries like It is often used in industries like entertainment. You see it in food a lot because when you see food, especially fresh food, you tend to see the element of red in those fresh food, especially when they are all, well, I don't want to say junk food, but particularly the type of foods that look assorted. They have this element of red in them. Either you have red chili, you have maybe even during the editing of the food, there seems to be like an extra addition of red to the picture such that it makes it look very yummy. It looks like yummy, yummy, yummy. Do you get now? It is used to stimulate.
Yes, sorry,
It is used to create urgency. It is used to draw attention. It is used to create caution. That's why it's used for stop sign. It is used to encourage. And there are different shades of red. So there's mahogany red, there's maroon red, especially if you go to Owambe, you will have a burgundy, crimson red, scarlet red. Maybe there's Nigerian red and there's African red.
So there's pepper red.
You see, that's another one person speaking. If there's pepper red, there should be tomato red, and there should be other forms of red. But do you understand what I'm explaining? Red, even when they have different shades, they still create almost the same feeling. Now, let's talk about black. Black is usually associated with mystery. It's a color that is actually the lack of color because it kind of hides things. It implies that there's a barrier. Strong and powerful color. Black is usually formal. That's the reason why when they say they want to do dinner night, you find that when they say that they are doing a dinner party, most times you find that people are in either black and white because that's formality. Black tends to be sophisticated, it tends to be secretive, it tends to be sexy, it connotes fear and evil to some people. It conveys pessimism and a lack of hope for some people, and that's the reason why they use it for funeral. Interestingly, in some cultures like India, black does not mean evil there. Black means something else. So again, remember, as I mentioned earlier on, that colors can change meaning from context to context. But these are just the generic meaning. These are more like the generalized meanings around these colors. So emotions, or they are used to hide feeling. They are used to, black is used to intimidate. And that's the reason why there's a particular personal brand who uses a lot of black and red in its design. It doesn't use any other color, just use black, red, and white. That's all it uses in its design. You can use it to radiate authority. You can use it to create fear. And of course, as I said earlier on, it's associated with mystery. Almost all industries use black, or they have some elements of black in their designs. And the more you add white to black, the more you have different shades of black. Okay? Now there's blue. Blue usually is associated with trust, responsibility, honesty, loyalty, inner security. For some people, they are associated with calmness. They're associated with serenity, with peace. They're associated with confidence. They're associated with loyalty, integrity, maybe even responsibility. And that's the reason why anytime you see somebody talking about heaven, there's some element of blue or some element of the cloud, because the cloud is associated with heaven. And so because the cloud is blue, they tend to use blue when they talk about heaven. They talk about calmness. And by the way, this is the reason why it's used in hospitals, because blue tends to calm the body. And because some people don't understand that this is the feeling associated with blue, they tend to use it in their rooms, and that's not the feeling they want to get in their room. So for example, you can stay in a blue room and be very, very annoyed instead of being relaxed. So it's used to reduce stress, create calmness, relax, create order. Industries that use blue tend to be, especially industries are related with security, finance, technology, healthcare, accounting, and also flights, airline. You see that they use a lot of blue, or they use a lot of
refrigeration industries too.
Exactly. Refrigeration also use blue as well. Brown, this is one color that is often not understood by a lot of people. And as the color of the earth, it communicates stability, reliability, honesty. It's a color of comfort. It's usually seen as natural. So when you see some products, when they say that they are talking about natural products, natural hair care, natural this, natural that, you either see them use green or they tilt to some level of brown. But if it is an improper branding, they will use color that the owner of the company likes, and it will be communicating something different from what they are supposed to be communicating. Now, brown implies stability, common sense. Sometimes it's used to suppress emotions, of course, because the ground does not feel any emotion. The industries that use brown: agriculture, construction, transportation, legal, food. Orange, the color of youthfulness. It is a very optimistic color. It is always used in social circles, especially if you are creating a company related to social, let's say a company that does social media, for example. Now, some people may not understand why Facebook used blue. The essence of using blue is either they create element of security, connection with other people. But when we look at real color of connection or the real color of social connection with people, is often the color of orange. So it is sometimes independent. It's associated with adventure, creativity, fun. It's used to stimulate, communicate fun, draw attention, express freedom. Is also used to fascinate. In fact, when you are designing for children, orange happens to be one of the colors that you will most likely use a lot, because you need to fascinate the children. So arts, entertainment, food, sports, transportation use this color. Gray is a neutral, practical color. Conservative, formal, is quiet. Sometimes it is used to communicate depression, just like black. And almost all industries, especially when they combine it with other colors, most industries will not use it as a primary color, a gray, except a bank like Heritage Bank that uses gray. But gray is not their primary color. Green is their primary color. You know why they use green? Because green is associated with finances, with wealth. We'll also talk about that shortly. Pink is the color of sensitivity. Some people associate it with femininity because they say that it is womanly to wear pink or have a pink product or something like that. But not every woman likes pink. So it is not also, like I said, it is not also specific in some context. Just like black means something else in India. So emotion, compassion, love, immaturity, playfulness, admiration. It is used to communicate energy, increase pulse, motivate action, fascinate, encourage creativity. It is used in children's product, women's product, beauty, and fashion. Now, violet, it is used to communicate, or the emotions associated are mystery, sensitivity, compassion, spirituality, imagination. And that's the reason why I said I use a variation of violet and yellow earlier on. It is used to encourage creativity, inspire, combine wisdom, impress with luxury. It is usually used in the industries that are associated with humanitarian, psychic, or religious organizations. Now, green communicates safety, harmony, stability, reliability, balance. It is used to relax, balance, revitalize, encourage, or to show possession. It's often used in environment, banking, real estate, farming, like farm crowdy, like we picked. Do you get it now? So you use green to communicate wealth, to communicate abundance, to communicate the feeling of rest, the feeling of safety, the feeling of renewal, the feeling of life. You use green when you want
Like
to
spa
communicate such
industries.
concepts. Like what? Spa, right?
Spa industries, there is green too.
Good. They use green a lot. That is the reason why they do that. Do you get it now? Now, yellow, the color of spontaneity, the color of optimism, similar to orange that we saw earlier on, the color of enthusiasm, happiness. So if you are talking about happiness, they use yellow. It can also communicate positivity. It is used to stimulate, it is used to relax, even though sometimes yellow does not make me feel relaxed. It is used to awaken awareness. It is used to energize, to affect mood. Industries that use it is food, sport, transportation, travel, leisure. But of course, sometimes it doesn't appear to be the primary color. So for example, MTN uses yellow, for example. Based on what I've just told you now, looking at the screen, give me one association that MTN has with yellow? I'm listening.
Spontaneity.
Spontaneity.
Interesting.
Spontaneity.
Stimulates. Awareness.
Stimulates.
I like
happiness and
the answers you are giving. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. All your answers are correct. So again now, if you remember earlier on, I said that brand is the experience people have. Branding is how you make that happen, right? So you see, they used a color that will help them to communicate what they want to communicate. They say everywhere you go, right? And yellow is not easy to miss anywhere. You always notice yellow, right? And in fact, the reason why they chose yellow was when they were coming into Nigeria, there was already a company that was already using blue, which was Econet during those age. That was when I first started using phone anyway. They started with Econet, yes, from correct, Econet Wireless, something like that. Founded by Strivema CUA. So, and MTN wanted to come to Nigeria. When Econet was using blue, they decided to go for yellow so that it's directly opposite of that. And then later, Glo wanted to come in. Glo said, let's represent Nigeria. So they went with green. Do you get it now? Now, here's a tool that can always help you work with color. And I want you to write that down, color.adobe.com. If you land on the website, it's going to change the domain. The domain is going to change to, it's not something I can easily mention because it's KULA, something like that. Color, they change the spelling. But if you type color.adobe.com, it's going to take you to the exact same page. So let's jump into that. Let me show you how that works. So let's look at how colors work now. Now, when it comes to softwares that you can use for designs, you can use Photoshop, you can use Adobe Illustrator, you can use Inkscape, you can use Corridor, you can use InDesign, you can use Canva, and you can practically use any software. Now, in this particular training, I'm going to try to limit my software to just two, to Canva and Adobe Photoshop. Now, let me get this off my screen. Let me get this off my screen here.
Sorry, sir. I have a question. I'm already a bit familiar with Adobe Illustrator, so I don't know how that will look like, but I can see it to go along, right?
Okay, that's good. Okay, you can still use Adobe Illustrator for your designs, but I would like, for those of us who are probably just getting started from scratch, I would like for you to right now just go on Canva and create an account. Let me see if there's a way to invite you to. Let me see if there's a way to invite people to create an account on Canva. Let me see. Okay, yes, there's a way. So let me copy
some kind of a referral link or something.
Yes, let me post that in the chat now so that you can go ahead and create an account right now. So create a Canva account using the link that I'm posting in the box. So I've just shared.
By the way, sorry to come in again. So the closing attendance has been posted in the chat room. So just check it and sign out. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll also mention that as when we are getting set to close. So, so that's for Canva. Let me open up color.adobe right now so that you can see how color.adobe works. Now, I'm using online tools primarily because sometimes you are designing and then your laptop gets to experience certain problems or something happens. Okay, let me even tell you a little story and why I changed my laptop to what I'm currently using right now. So there was a day I was trying to rush up a design. I wanted to quickly finish up a design for a client, a project. I think if I'm correct, I think it must have been, maybe I was producing a podcast for that client. Yes, I think it was a podcast. I think it was a series of podcasts that they were doing. And I was staying up late around 3 a.m. in the morning. I was editing, enjoying myself editing, and then suddenly my laptop went off. So I thought it was because I did not connect charger. So I went to go and plug charger to my laptop. I saw that it was charging then. I said, let me turn back the laptop. The laptop refused to come up. Come and see voila. I was like, yay. What do I do? This client needs to use this podcast in the morning. Yay. I did all I could. Laptop refused to work. Oh. I went to bed, left it, and said, okay, maybe when I wake up, maybe it will be fully charged. It was going to start. It did not start. The laptop did not work. I got tired. You know what happened? Eventually, I was told that my laptop is bad, that the motherboard has expired. And so I will need to either buy a new laptop or to replace the motherboard. So I said, okay, I'm ready to replace the motherboard. How much is motherboard? By the time they told me the price of the motherboard, I just said, you know what? Let me go sell the laptop. So I sold the laptop. I removed the hard disk. I said, can you give me the hard disk? They said, yeah. So I collected the hard disk, sold the laptop. I said, take it. I said, please, I need a new laptop. And instantly, I bought a new laptop. And that's the laptop I'm currently using now. Now, if though between when the laptop spoiled and the time I went to Computer Village to go and change it, I think it took about 3 or 4 days or so. Now, here's the big part. If I was working online, I could simply log into another laptop and continue my design online. Or maybe I was editing podcast. I can simply log into another laptop and continue online. Do you understand that? So lately, I'm beginning to become an advocate for online tools that will allow you to do the work that you do without necessarily confining you to a particular device. Do you get that? Because if you switch laptops, if you switch anything, or maybe something stops working, you can simply continue your work as long as you remember your password, as long as you remember your this thing, you can always continue your work. That's the reason why Canva is going to be the primary design tool here, and Photoshop will be the second one. Now, by the time we get to Photoshop, I'm going to see how to find software, the Photoshop for you, so that you can install as well, so that you won't need to be looking for Photoshop up and down. I'll look for how to get the Photoshop for you so that everybody can download and install as well. So at this point, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see the screen.
Okay, this is Adobe Color. This is color.adobe.com. And right now, color.adobe.com is showing color.adobe.com. You did not retype the name. Now, one of the first things you notice here to this side is it says color harmony rule. And it shows different color schemes that I've just shared with you. Remember, I mentioned all of this. Analogous, monochromatic. Can you see monochromatic? Triad, complementary, split complementary, double split complementary, square, compound. Compound means similar, right? And then shades, that is one single shade. Now, let's pick them one after the other. If you pick analogous, it means you have confined it to, so look at what's happening right now. Can you see what's going on? I'm simply creating a color scheme based on analogous profile. So if I move this, yes, if I move anyone, the remaining ones will move because they have to remain analogous in order for me to be able to use colors. And here's the interesting thing. Once you are done selecting your color, creating your color, the good thing with Adobe Color is that you can simply just copy this code here. You can simply just right-click, copy, and then you can get into Canva, and then you can use as you like. Do you understand? So it makes your work a lot more interesting. And that is one way. You can click on monochromatic here. So if you choose monochromatic, you see that I can't go to the other end. It's only just working with the same color range. Now, when I choose triad will split it around. So now you can see the moment I'm trying to move, all the remaining ones are moving as well, because these tools allow you to kind of create your work in a way that even if you don't know too much about colors, by the time you start using tools like this, even when people see your design, they will be saying, oh, your design looks cool, your design looks cool, your design looks cool. Unlike when you now do one design and then we are trying to squeeze our eyes in order to see what you've drawn. You're squeezing our eyes in order to see what you have designed. So you can play around with all of these. Now, sometimes when you want to work with a particular design, maybe you see a picture and you like the color combinations they've used in the picture, you can come to this extract theme. An extract theme simply means that you can upload the picture here. It's going to simply fetch the colors for you by itself. So let's do that right now. Let me show you. I'm going to select a file and I'm going to go to download. So let's say that, so let me make this bigger so that you can see the colors I'm going to, let me make it bigger so that you can see the images here. So let's say I want to design something like, I want to use this picture in my design, or I like this color combination and this is what I'm going to select. If you click open, once you click open, can you see that it instantly spots all the color by itself? Can you see that?
With the color codes too.
Yes, you also paste the color code so
Yes.
that you can pick the color instantly. Now, this black here, you can move it from there and move it to maybe somewhere around here. And if you don't want this color, if it is a different color you want to pick from there, you can move it around. You can adjust. You can take it anywhere you want to take it so that you can select the specific colors you want to pick from the entire design. So this one we stop here. And then let's say this one, I move this one here. Or let's say this one, I move it to the screen here. And then this, I'm picking the color of the guy, or maybe I'm picking the color of the lady. Do you understand what I'm doing right now? It allows you to pick colors from any image at all. So if I don't like this image, I want to use another image, you can click replace image here, and then you can go in again, and then you can pick another image. So let's say, let me look for an image that's I'll simply like to use. Okay, so good. So let's say this is the image I want to use now. Now you notice something, it picks the color by itself. So if I choose bright, you can also extract using color mode here. So if I choose bright, it's going to choose the bright. If I choose muted, you can see. If I choose deep, if I choose dark, if I choose none, it's just going to be there. But I'm going to choose colorful. So you can choose based on what you are trying to accomplish here. So now for this, I'm going to simply move, okay, so these colors, let me move this to this woman's cloth. This yellow is okay here. This green here, I need this green. So I can come and even pick this green, or I can leave it back on that blue. And this yellow here is okay. And I can say this is what I want to use. So if you like the color scheme and it's something you want to keep using, you can also save it. But in order to save, you have to create an account with Adobe. So you may not necessarily need it. But the way to do that is sometimes you can just right click. Let me see. There's a place where I used to save. I can't find it on the screen right now. But you can simply just copy the color codes. Now I'm going to go to Canva. So tomorrow I'm going to introduce you to Canva. But right now, let me show you what I mean by using color codes from somewhere. Now, you remember I said that I made this inside Canva. Can you see it right here inside Canva? And this is something I do for mentally aware. So I also design for them as well. And okay, let me create a design from scratch here and then. So let's say I'm doing an Instagram post. So let's say I'm doing an Instagram post. I want to use all these color schemes in my designs. You can simply just come, copy this color, and then come to the design. So let's say this background is this here. So I can choose this background. I can simply come to styles, and then you can see color schemes here in Canva as well. So there are color schemes inside Canva as well. These are colors here. These are color schemes here. You can also choose color schemes from inside Canva. And you can also choose font schemes as well, so font combinations as well. Tomorrow we'll talk about fonts, how fonts are important to your design. But I wanted you to see how this works. So today you've seen how Adobe works. I would like for you to practice and practice and practice and practice and practice at home so that you can, by tomorrow you are familiar with it. So let me bring in shape here. So let's say this is this shape here. The color that I've copied, the interesting thing is that once you can copy the color here, copy this color here, you can simply copy, and then you come to this place and then you simply paste, It simply fetches the color for you, and then that's that. Do you get it now? Are you still with me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir, we are with you.
We're captivated.
Great.
So we are,
You are captivated. Very
we're really
interesting.
captivated.
To the
So
moment.
we couldn't even say, we don't even know what to say again. So it's an interesting class.
Very interesting. So let's say I want to use this color here, and then I want to use this blue along with it. I can simply just copy that, and then let's say I want to draw something here. Let's say I want to draw something here. I can click on this color. I'm going to show you how to work with all these colors, how to work with the tools inside Canva. But primarily, I'm just showing you how to work with colors right now. So this is this. So let's say, whose name should I write? Let me write Micah. So let me say I want to write Micah. And then in order to pick color, what I'm simply going to do is I'm going to go to this image, and then this is the yellow I want to pick. So I click on that yellow, then I click on this Micah. Under this text color here, I can simply paste this color, and then you can see that I'm gradually replicating the colors on this design without even using this design. Can you see that? So you can practically just create anything from scratch right here inside Canva, and you can also increase this way. So you can have it like this. This is Micah, and then let me see. Okay, let me bring in this final color here as something I can use. So let me create my background here now. So here, let me just type, let me not type, let me use recently used. Let me look for some of those shapes that I use. So this is a shape here, and then I'm going to use this color here, and then look at it here. So now I'm going to now spread this over the entire image. Now it looks like this image is covering the background. The interesting thing, by the time we explore Canva tomorrow, you will understand this. So I'm simply going to send backward, backward, backward. Okay, I'm going to bring forward a little, and then right now I can reduce the transparency. And right now I have a design. In fact, if I still don't like that, if I just want to use maybe a gradient, so I can type gradient. You said you don't understand.
Yes.
Okay. No need to give yourself headache. Okay. No need to give yourself headache. I'm just walking you through how the colors work, not Canva. It's not Canva that I'm walking you through right now. Tomorrow we'll start exploring Canva as a tool. Do you understand now? In fact, for this entire week, we are going to explore Canva. So for example, there's something new that Canva just introduced that Canva did not have before. It's called guides and rulers. So it's called guides and rulers. If you look at my screen here right now, you see that I can bring in a line. All of these parts that you see inside Adobe Illustrator and you see inside CorelDRAW. I use CorelDRAW a lot. When I say a lot, I mean oh boy. Do you get? But
yes,
I still find Canva useful. Sometimes when I'm on the go, or sometimes when I need to quickly do a design, I still find Canva very useful. So let me say I want to bring in a photo here. Let's say I want to use a picture of somebody. I can simply bring it in here. And then I can have this like this. I can come to this element. I can take off this gradient. Maybe even look at grids. Look at these grids. Let me go out back and look for frames. So I can look at these frames here. So let's say I want to put it as a picture, and then I can drag this into this background here.
Huh?
So you can see how simple Canva makes your work. Can you see what I've just done now?
Yes, you can see.
So
Yeah.
Canva just makes all of that. We are going to explore all of this tomorrow, okay?
Okay,
so I just needed to give you an idea of what is coming. Now with this, you can also do quite a lot of things with Canva. So like this image here, let me see if I can find designs. inside here. But hopefully, I'm also going to introduce you to tools that I used to create something like this. So what you see here, I'm going to introduce you to such tools tomorrow. So for example, when I'm designing inside Canva, how am I able to create designs like this, designs like, as you can see, this is one single design. You can see how long it is. This is one single design here right now. But it's called Carousel on Instagram. It's a post that I created for Instagram. Let me even go and find the image for you on Instagram. So Audacity to lead. So look at it here. This is the image. This is the design. This is how everything is put together. This is how everything is put together, one after the other. This is background. This is background here. This is this. This is this. This is a picture of me here. This is this here. This is a link here. So you'll be able to create all of these inside whatever design software you're using. But I'm going to, like I mentioned, I'm going to again narrow down to Canva for this entire week. So we are going to be exploring how to create totally amazing designs using Canva. So here's the design that I just showed you now. This is how it looks on Instagram. So if you scroll this way, can you see that it looks like that's like the image started from one part and then it continued? Do you observe that?
Yes, sir. We can observe that.
Yes, sir.
And then it continues.
Yes, sir.
This pillar starts here, and then it continues, and then it continues. This email icon starts here and then continues. This picture of mine starts here and then it continues. Can you see that? And this is it right inside Canva. So it doesn't matter sometimes the kind of software you use, as long as you're able to get the result. Do you get it now? All of these we'll be exploring this week. So get yourself ready, get yourself prepared. If you don't have a Canva account, go and create your Canva account. I'm going to be using the desktop as you are seeing right now. So you are going to be using more of the desktop than the app. I have the app. I also use the app. And sometimes, like maybe, so like this design, for example, sometimes I change it while I'm on the go. So if you look at this design right now, you see that this design is for Mentally Aware Nigeria Initiative. So what I do is I simply just put somebody's picture inside here. So while everybody is just there, while we are just, let me find picture. So let's say this person is, I just put the picture here and then I download and then they share as happy birthday, but I've simply just created a template here that I keep using every now and then. So let's say you are working for a company that likes to celebrate people for birthdays. You can always create templates inside Canva that you can keep using from time to time. And by the way, you can also adjust the image. So the brightness, contrast, saturation. Can you remember when I mentioned saturation earlier on? So this is saturation here. So you can see, you can adjust, you can create all manner of things right inside Canva. You can blur the image, you can make it blurry, you can make it sharp, you can do whatever it is you want to do. We'll start exploring that as from tomorrow. It is 4 o'clock and our class should be ending in the next couple of seconds. So far, what have you learned today? How has today been useful to you? Share with me, and please make sure you fill the attendance sheet for the attendance sheet for closing, the closing attendance sheet. Timileyin will post that. Make sure you fill that. So let me take one after the other. I uploaded a PNG signature transparent background. I already had. I hope it's not a problem. That's okay. You're sending that to Timileyin. I can't find the sign out link. The sign out link, please, Timileyin, you can post that again. So Timileyin, you can post that again. So at this point, I would like all of you to ask whatever questions it is you have based on what we have covered today. Don't ask questions on Canva, okay? But you can ask questions on Adobe Color. You can ask questions on maybe psychology of colors. You can ask questions based on the things that we've discussed today. But don't ask any question on Canva. If you ask question on Canva, I'm going to fire you. So if you have questions right now, please go ahead and ask. We have just 3 minutes to end this class. So go ahead and ask your questions. And by the way, as at right now, as we are ending right now, we have 43 people in this meeting. If the attendance is more than 43, we will spot those who are not in the class who came to come and fill in. So if you can unmute yourself and ask whatever questions it is you want to ask, if you want to ask questions.
Wow.
Can you share a PDF of the psychology of colors? Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, between now and tomorrow, I'm going to turn that slide, I'm going to turn some sections of it into a PDF so that you can also work with it. Of course, I don't even need to share. This should be the reason why you are in this class. Go online and study. So between now and tomorrow, go and read up on psychology of colors. I think that would be a better way. Go and read up on psychology of colors. Go and read up on color combination. Instead of me giving you, go and read up. Type on Google psychology of colors. Read as many articles as possible as you can. At least that will kind of initiate you into that this thing. Okay, please link to Adobe Colors. The way you write Adobe Colors, just type Adobe Colors on Google. It will take you there straight. Who else has a question? I was hearing somebody's voice.
Yeah, I have a question, sir. Hello, sir.
Continue, I'm with you.
Yeah, you said you designed some front page flyers for the Nigerian woman that won a CNN award or something like that.
Yes, a book cover.
Okay, book cover.
Yes.
Okay, was it like you just felt like designing is probably you're playing around, or it was actually a contract from her? She asked you to
It was
design it
actually a
yourself.
contract from her. She asked me to design it herself.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so is it okay for us if we just design freely for people, like people that don't even know us, just design for them and we post it for them to see, even though they might not use it?
In this class, while some of what they said I should teach you is skill, I'm also going to share a lot of my own story of how I get clients and how I make money from design as well. So while I can answer your question right now, I'm going to say as we follow along, I'm going to be revealing how these things work. So let me quickly mention here. It's good to design for people and tag them online. That can sometimes bring you to their attention. Do you get that? If you do a design, so for example, there's a client of mine and also a friend of mine called Emmanuel Michael. He's into HR. He posted something on his WhatsApp status months ago about a conference they were holding, and I could see that it was part of. Now, Emmanuel Michael is like one of the top HR guys in Nigeria right now. Is the customer engagement? Is it customer? No, I think I can't remember the name, but he holds a high this thing in a microfinance bank. He's one of the guys in microfinance bank in Nigeria, and he has been to a class that I did before, so that was how we got to know. I have known him for a while, so I saw it on his status that he posted something, and he was part of the people who were organizing the program. It was a flyer that I saw on his status. So I said, "Sir, are you?" When I saw the date of the date of the program, I saw this, so I saw the and I said, "Okay," and you know what I did? I sat down and quickly opened CorelDRAW, and in about 30 minutes or so, I finished the design, sent to him, and said, "Please provide picture, provide this, provide that those are missing on the design that they did." By the time he collected picture and did it, he sent it to the person who was part of the organizers. They were blown away by the design, and they were like, "Please, can you come and be designing for us?" Do you understand now? So sometimes you can do it as a free will, but you need to rate their design. If their design is good, is better than your own, it will be more like you are putting yourself into trouble. But if their design is not as good as your own, that could be a way for you to actually win them as a client. You could do maybe one design, two designs for them, and then, of course, you probably see some names, some popular persons that you probably see in my folder some minutes ago. These are people that have actually paid me to design for them. Do you get that? But sometimes you might have to give them a free design first. But me personally, I don't do free design every time. I only do it once in a while. Like somebody who's already around me. Those are the people I do free designs for once in a while. So if you are just getting started right now, one way you can quickly get into to get the attention of people is to do a free design for them. It may, in fact, that's the reason why we selected the 3 companies we want to work on. That's Piggyvest, Zama, and Pick Me Up. If some of you come up with very powerful designs, very powerful social media designs that they can use, what if they actually call you up and say, can you come and manage our social media? Do you understand now? Now, let me tell you a little story. Sometimes last year, one guy trended on Twitter. What he did was basically to do a logo for Innocent Motors. And he just did it of his own free will. And he said people should retweet until Innocent sees it. And Innocent noticed it. And they called him up and they paid him in order to continue to. Maybe they eventually used the logo or not. I don't know the remaining story. But when it came to the attention of Innocent Motors, we knew. Do you understand? So sometimes you can do something like that. They did not commission you, but you just did it. If your design beats what they have, of course, it's going to be somebody who wants to be traditional, that will see something good and not go for it. Yoruba will say that, if you don't understand Yoruba, it means if a child sees honey, the child will throw away bean cake, will throw away akara. So that's the same thing. So hope that answers your question. Anu says, how can we blend colors based on their psychology with respect to the brand of product? E.g., brown and gray represents nature. Should we pick one or both? Sometimes when you have 2 colors that represent the same thing, sometimes the company may need to pick, the person who contracted you may need to pick the one that actually fits their branding, the one that they can stick with over the long haul, okay? So let me see if I can find a brown branded product here. There's a mic behind me here that's a brown color. In fact, the mic, I don't think I've used it that much. I'm trying to see if I can find a brown product around me here. I can't find any brown products at my studio except for the shelf behind me. But I hope that answers your question. So I hope that is helpful. Now, tomorrow, between now and tomorrow, I want you to read up on brand. I want you to read up on color psychology. Learn as much as possible. And then tomorrow we'll start with our first project. I am Dio Samuel, and I hope this session has been helpful and meaningful to you. Remember to fill your attendance sheet. I'm going to see you by 1 p.m. tomorrow. Okay? Over to you, Micah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Amazing, amazing stuff.
Thank you, sir.
Amazing stuff. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that very insightful.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very
So,
much, sir.
over time.
Great
Thank you
time.
very much,
Thank
sir.
you
Thank you
everyone
so,
for
so,
joining.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Amazing. Thank you, everyone. So we're 11 minutes past 4 p.m. So in the absence of any other question, I just want to tell you, please sign your attendance. It is really important. It is so important for you to sign your attendance. If you don't sign your attendance, I don't know what it could cost, but sign your attendance, please. It is really important that you sign your attendance. And sign in and
I have a
out.
question, sorry. I have a question, please.
Yeah, please answer. Please
Can you?
ask your question, please.
Yeah, sorry. I tapped at the chat part that I uploaded. I already had a PNG signature, so that's what I used. I uploaded it just now at the sign out. So I don't know whether that will be a problem, or should I use the one with background also?
So far, your signature is visible. Provided it is visible, you're fine.
All right, sir. Thank you.
You're good to. You're welcome. All right, thank you everyone for joining. In the absence of no question, this class has come to an end today. So I'm going to see you guys tomorrow by 1 p.m. So from now to then, see you. So don't forget to do your assignment. The assignment he gave you to read up on, what he asked you to read up on. So please don't forget to read up and get ready for your Canva class tomorrow. All right, thank you everyone.
Thank you,
Enjoy
sir.
the rest of your day. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I don't know it's all my game. It's